those hamstrings out because it's going to be a track meet.
And we're going to see one of the best quarterbacks in college football, Logan Woodside, a Heisman Trophy candidate for the Rockets.
This kid is everything you want out of a quarterback. Last year, throwing for over 4,000 yards, 45 touchdowns, but the biggest thing about it is his accuracy, 69.1%. When he's on, it's very tough for them to lose.
And when you talk about Nevada, it's important to be versatile at quarterback, and they have one in Ty Ganji, a dual threat guy at the helm.
And when you talk about dual threats, he does everything you want when he runs the ball. Where they like to see him improve is in the throwing game. It's a new system. He's still getting it under his belt, but 43% last week will not get them to success. If they're going to win today, he's going to have to up that.
We could see a high-scoring affair. The MAC against the Mountain West, the Rockets against the Wolfpack. Coming up next from Reno, Nevada.
We don't want some of the games. We want all the live games with DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. We don't just want some Dak Prescott. We want all the Dak Prescott.
Switch to DirecTV and get every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
Back in Reno as we expect a high-scoring matchup between the Toledo Rockets and the Nevada Wolfpack at Mackey Stadium. Let's take a look at the impact players for this one.
You know, we talked a lot about the quarterbacks in the open. It's important for them with the way these offenses played what they need to do in regards to getting the ball out. More importantly, those are quarterbacks in the secondary. You're looking at Tichy and Rufus, both of these guys, going to have to make sure they get everybody lined up because if they don't, you're going to see explosive plays on the field.
Toledo winning the coin toss here, but they defer to the second half. Nevada will get the football first. And this is a Nevada team coming off a really good effort in a loss at Northwestern 31-20. They led 20-17, a couple late Northwestern touchdowns, and in the last 5:28 getting them the victory. Meanwhile, Toledo rolling to a win over Elon in their opener 47-13.
Yeah, and there's two ways you can look at that. You can look at it, Toledo's side of the ball, kind of not a very tough opponent, so now they're going to really get a true test of what this team is able to do. Where Nevada on the other side went into a tough game, got out of there with the loss, but felt that they let it get away. So they're going to come out here a bit hungry, and I think when you watch this game progress, you're going to see a team learn from the mistakes the week before and do some good things today.
Boy, they've really been a model of consistency. Toledo, 6 bowls last 7 years. Nevada has a very challenging schedule this year. 8 bowl teams from last year on the schedule as Jamison Vest has it teed up. And Nevada, you're looking at Justin Brent, the deep man, standing on his 5-yard line for the Wolfpack. Picture perfect day, low 80s, sunshine, and we're ready for a very interesting non-conference matchup between Toledo and Nevada. And Vest gets this one underway. Brent will field it in the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Wolfpack will start at the 25-yard line. A Nevada team with Jay Norvell at the helm, 31-year coaching career, part of 14 bowl games as an assistant, stops at Arizona State and Texas, his last 2 stops, and he's really leaning on Ty Ganji here, the mobile quarterback, the junior from Glendale, California, who had some ups and downs last year. He started 4 games, came in for the injured Tyler Stewart.
Yeah, and he understands what it means to be a starter, get in there. He's made plays for this team. Very good with his legs. It's just about the arm. They would like more accuracy. 16 of 37 last week, 43%. This offense can go, but it needs the quarterback to hit the guys in the right spot.
They'll come out with a 4-receiver look and a single running back, Jackson Kincaid, and some movement up front and whistles here at the outset. Ron Hudson, our lead referee. That's Daniel Davis, the senior defensive tackle, jumping across.
Got to watch that ball. There's an old saying, if you're on that defensive front, you're the closest to the ball. There should never be a jumping of offsides, especially the first snap of the game.
It was an inconsistent defense last year. Played very well in their first effort against Elon. Ganji from the gun on 1st and 5, and Kincaid is popped after a short gain. Coming up was Dadaro Blue, the star linebacker, with a big play.
It's kind of their hybrid nickel position player. You're going to see him in that slot a lot. He did a good job reading that screen and getting up there and making that hit. 2nd
and 8 now, back at the 27-yard line. That was a loss of 4 yards on the play. Ganji hands off to Kincaid. He breaks it open for a big gain and a first down up to the 37-yard line. Now remember, James Butler was the running back last year. He's now at Iowa. 11-yard pickup. Kincaid trying to pick up the load here, a sophomore from Fort Lauderdale.
Just a simple dive play. You see, they're watching. They have to honor the quarterback because Ganji will run, holds that defensive end just long enough.
Ganji on 1st down now, setting up the screen, caught by Depps, and he's hit in the backfield for a loss. That was actually Trevon Mathis was in there on the play, and a loss of 4. They made a couple minus yardage defensive plays here.
Right, and this is the issue they ran against Northwestern last week. Northwestern played the screens really well, took that away. They had to go more the running game, and that's where Jackson Kincaid really helped them out.
3 running backs now flanking Ganji, and he's going to hand it off to Kelton Moore, who turns the corner, and he's up to the 45-yard line on that carry off the left side. 10-yard pickup. Trevon Mathis again on the stop.
Right now, Nevada's having a great tempo to their offense, getting good plays on the run. You see the misdirection, gets the defense going left, great block, and he just puts the foot down and gets going, gets outside, gets a positive yard to make 3rd and short.
Moore, also a sophomore, sets up a 3rd and 3. They need to make the 48-yard line to keep this drive going. Empty backfield this time. Ganji looks downfield, has a man open, and it's dropped. Open was McLean Mannix, the freshman. He had to move and turn his head around and almost came up with it on the sideline.
Now that's a catch that McLean has to come up with. Even though he's a freshman, he made his first catch last week on a similar tight play for a touchdown. When you're wide open like that, the quarterback put it the spot on the outside to make sure defenders could not come and intercept that ball. Great touch by Ganji. He puts it there. He just has to find it, pull that in, and he's walking into the end zone if he does that.
Moore, the running back here, and they are going to go for it on 4th down. An early gamble from Nevada. Ganji downfield for Mannix. He overshoots him, and it's incomplete. How about that? Rolling the dice, Jay. 4th down, and they give it up on downs on their side of the field.
Yeah, I thought they might do a pooch punt, which they've done last week as well in that type of situation. That was a nuts touch ball. I was curious if there was going to be pass interference because it looked like Mannix had his step and the defender might have been pulling on his jersey, but officials maybe didn't see that. So this is a tough call given this type of offense, that short of field to start.
It might be a case of the respect they had for Logan Woodside and company, one of the top quarterbacks in college football, feeling they wanted to score in that opening drive, but now they give him the short field. And here is the Heisman Trophy candidate, the O'Brien, Maxwell, and Manning candidate, Woodside, with a golden opportunity right out of the gate. Single back, Terry Swanson behind him. It's a spread attack. Balance is the key, though. They don't just throw it, they run it as well. Play action. Woodside rolling left and through the hands of the intended receiver. That was McKinley. That was actually Reggie Gilliam, the tight end. Rufus on the coverage.
Yeah, just went right through his hand. Should have caught that ball. A lot of Nevada fans are probably looking out there saying, wait a minute, that looks just like the pistol. That's what we used to run. The way they set this up, it puts the defense in a situation where the quarterback is right in the middle, the back can be behind, sideways. This defense has a really key to keep the numbers in the box, force them to pass.
You saw those numbers from last year. The Toledo record holder in passing efficiency as well. Looking at a 2nd and 10 now. 3 receivers left. Out of the backfield, dumps it off to Swanson, makes a man miss inside the 35 and a first down. and the yards after catch is what makes his team so good. That's a 12-yard pickup. Baber on the tackle.
And it starts with Jordan Fisher, the tight end, did a great job. They created a nice seam for the running back to catch that flare route and get up the field.
And here they go tempo. They like to do this a lot. Handoff, Swanson cuts back inside the 25 and close to a first down at the 22-yard line. A 10-yard carry there. Asani Rufus again on the stop. This is a guy climbing the Toledo career chart. Swanson, the running back. And he's got a great one leading him in Woodside at the quarterback spot. Swanson again. Big hole inside the 15. And he's close to another first down at the 13-yard line. 9-yard pickup. And the safeties are staying busy. Baber and Rufus are the last line of defense.
And they're going to have to be active in that type of situation. Last week they did a great job against the run. Not a good start right now at the beginning of this game for Nevada. They're going to have to shut down that middle run. In doing so, that's going to help the defense out. But if you give them that in between the tackle runs, they'll be able to do that all day long.
Second down and a yard at the 13. Handoff, Swanson. First down as he's hit hard and dropped inside the 10-yard line. Malik Reed was there, but right now they've got him on their heels defensively with this attack.
Yeah, and so defensively, Nevada does not like to blitz a whole lot. They'll mix up some every now and then, but you would have to see in this type of situation, you might need to dial up a little pressure. You don't want Woodside getting comfortable. When he does, he'll start to pick you apart. You want to put some pressure on them, get some tackle for losses. First
and goal from the 9. Toledo's initial series here at Mackey Stadium, trying to grab the early advantage. Handoff, Swanson, and Nevada does a nice job bottling this one up a couple yards, and that's it. That was Gabe Sewell, the Mike linebacker, preseason All-Mountain West.
Yeah, and they said last week he did a great job coming downhill, making tackles in that Northwestern game. He's going to have to do a lot of that today because what we're seeing out of this Toledo offense is just like theirs. They're going to use that running back coming down the pipe, force everybody to pull in so they can pass the ball outside. If you don't stop the run up the middle, they're going to keep doing it.
Second and goal just outside the 7. Cody Thompson, one of the top receivers in America, in motion. Woodside off the play action, back of the end zone, incomplete. Had a man available, and it was Deontay Johnson, and overshoots him. Third down.
Austin Polis did a great job getting in that backfield. Logan Woodside can scramble, but he's not really known as much for that with the type of arm and the offense that they have. When you can force him to get rid of that ball quickly, that's how you help your defense out. Now you try to force a field goal situation.
Hollis was active in week 1 with 15 tackles in the game at Northwestern. Here it is, third and goal, just outside the 7. 3 receivers bunched together on the left side for the Rockets. Deontay Johnson, the motion man. Rolling left, Woodside, looking to the end zone, incomplete. Wanted Thompson, but it was broken up. Nevada's Travis Wilson got his hand on it.
Travis Wilson just got in the lane, and as Woodside rolled around, he had the wide open receiver in the flat. As you see right here, wide open. But that right there, the last second, that tip up, there was 2 of them there. And right there, if he would have went to Deontay Johnson as he's jumping around a bit of touch, but that's a nice win for the Nevada defense.
Here's Jamison Vest for a field goal attempt of 25 yards out of the hold of Bailey Flint. 4 of 4 in their first game. And this one is through the uprights, and Toledo takes the early lead. So Vest, the junior from Peachtree, Georgia, gives the Rockets the lead on the road. An impressive drive, and it ends in 3 here in Reno.
Did you?
Vacuum? Yes. I also cleaned my bathroom and your bathroom.
Nice. You've earned your Wi-Fi back.
How about my skateboard?
Find your awesome with Xfinity XFi.
Home opener in the Wolfpack. Fans excited about this matchup with Toledo. 2 teams that have the ability to put a lot of points on the board, and the Rockets do it first. 25-yard field goal from Vest after they go 9 plays and 38 yards after Nevada gambles on 4th down and gives them a short field after their first possession.
Well, if a lot of people watch the game on Thursday and wonder when the Patriots went after a few times, when you spot your defense maybe in a tough match and you see, hey, we got to put points, we got to match the other side, that's probably what led to that 4th down attempt.
Vest with the kickoff, and this will not be returnable as Deontay Johnson will take a knee, and the Wolfpack again will start at the 25-yard line. Well, they're going to have to be aggressive to keep up with this scoring potential of Toledo, and maybe that's the mindset he wanted from the outset here. Let's focus on get touchdowns, not field goals.
And you look at the play calling they did on the first series. They were moving the ball. They stopped themselves. Toledo didn't stop them. They stopped themselves. So if they can come back keep that flow going, I can see them putting 7 points on this drive.
That's Coach Norvell's key. Take care of the ball and get in the end zone. Don't settle for 3. They'll start from the 25, trailing 3-0 now. Ganji, 3-receiver look. Both these teams will vary with a lot of different formations, and there's some movement up front. It's like Toledo jumped off sides. Was it Moore again?
I tell you what I like right now. Ty Ganji using the hard count, using the aggressiveness of the defense against them. The defense can jump, but they have to get back before touching the center or touching somebody on the other side or snapping the ball. They had a chance to get back. They didn't get back. But I like what Ty Ganji's doing right now, using their aggressiveness against them with those hard counts.
And Moore's a good one. He's an Outland Lombardi Award candidate. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Jumps early there. 1st and 5 now from the 30. Handoff. It's Kelton Moore, and he fights for tough yardage and is close to a 1st down. Tuzar Skipper, the senior defensive end, on the stop, but that moves the chains.
This is almost identical to the start they had on the first drive. Got a encroachment call, got a 1st and 5, then got a run and got a 1st down. Now it's about just keeping that tempo going.
Moore a little bit bigger than Kincaid, his counterpart. He goes 220 pounds. Ganji steps up in the pocket, fires downfield, has a man open, and it's caught by Mannix, and he's out of bounds on the Toledo side of the field. Marcus Whitfield, the free safety, bumps him out. They are excited about this freshman. He makes a big play.
This is the completion they're looking at. Look at the accuracy. Ganji puts that in between the corner and the safety. Just soap on a rope down the sideline. Big gain for this offense. That's the plays they need to get points on the board.
32-yard pickup off play action. Here's Mannix again as they try to stretch it, this time horizontally, and he's out of bounds at the 33-yard pickup. Josh Teachy, the free safety, on the stop.
You got to know Clay Maddox, the kid out of Texas, knows how to play a little football, especially the way they do it down there. He was going to come back. I guarantee he went to the sideline after that early drop that he could have walked to the end zone saying, that's not going to happen again. He responds by coming out with a big play.
They think he fits into the system perfectly. This air raid attack. Here's a play action fake again, a throw to the sideline, and it's through the hands of Justin Brent, who got the start today at one of the wide receiver spots. It'll be a 3rd and long coming up. Kadar Holman on the coverage.
That's Ty Ganji reading the defense. He sees the defenders ahead, so he throws that back shoulder throw. That's a catch that Justin Brent has to come up with.
There's a look at Holman, junior from Burlington, New Jersey, returning starter at that cornerback spot. He'll handle Demps this time defensively on a 3rd and 8. Ganji rushing 4 against him over the middle. It's caught by Demps, and he's knocked down at the 25, short of the stick. Jordan Williams, a strong safety on the spot, 6-yard pickup, and it's amazing he got that ball in there.
He did, and this is what I'm liking. He definitely's worked on his accuracy this week. If I was Nevada, though, I'd run up right now and try to do a hard count again, get a jump, see if I can get a 1st down, because this defense is reeling right now.
How about this? They're going for it again. 4th and 2 at the 25 again. The motto, touchdowns, not field goals. That was the thought coming into this game. They'll go for it again from the 25. And some movement up front and a penalty flag.
I'm curious to see if they're going to give the left guard the false start, or they're going to say the defensive person moved, which forced him to start, because they both seem to move.
Full start. Number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's Anthony Palamares, the junior left guard, and that will bring the kicking team out there on a 4th and 7 now.
And that's one thing that all coaches don't like. They get upset. When you have a situation like that, you don't want a penalty to take you back, and that's exactly what happened. They definitely were going to go for it. They wanted to continue the drive. They wanted a touchdown, but because of a penalty from lack of concentration, now they have to try the field goal.
Spencer Pettit from 47 yards out, 2 for 2 against Northwestern. Out of the hole to Conaway, the punter. From the left hash, should be a new career long. Kick on the way, and it's good. And we're tied at 3 as Pettit, the sophomore from Washington, delivers for Nevada.
That's the type of kick you need. You got the penalty. Now you want to make sure you at least get the 3 points, keep this tape to 0. And when he does that, you see the excitement. His teammates are backing him to the full hill. They want this game.
A 6-play, 45-yard drive. We're all even in Reno.
Hi, so I just got off the phone with our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness. So the incredibly minor accident that I had tonight.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Introducing the new Range Rover Velar. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The Rockets and Wolfpack tied at 3. There's the honorary captain for today, College Football Hall of Famer Chris Ault, who put this Nevada football program on the map. Inducted in 2002, the honorary captain. He means so much to this state and this university, and boy, did he have some great teams, not just the Colin Kaepernick teams, but they scored a lot of points in his tenure as a head coach.
And like I just alluded to, played before, a lot of teams across the nation now use that pistol formation at some form, and he's the one that created that.
Yep, and a tremendous individual that, from what I understand, is still coaching overseas in Italy. Can't get coaching out of his blood, and he's been a tremendous ambassador for college football. 3-3 game, and Quentin Conaway, the punter, is the kickoff specialist here for Nevada. He has it teed up at the 35-yard line after that Pettit field goal, squaring things. It's an onside kick, and I think Toledo has hopped on it at the 46-yard line. It's Whitfield, Marcus Whitfield, with a big play. They tried to catch him napping.
And that's a smart play. Both coaches always say special teams at home, on the road, you want to win all 3 phases. Both these teams had great success last week against their opponent in the special teams game. What we're seeing right now, which is very big, Coach Norvell is saying, you know what, everything's on the table right now. We want to win. We're playing all out. We're putting it all on the line, and we're not going to leave one stone unturned. And I think for his players, them seeing that, let's see if this defense can rise to the occasion again, because to take an offense like Toledo, hold him to 3 points when he had a short field. Now you have a short field again. Can you hold him to 3 more?
Yeah, this is a team that was second in the nation in passing efficiency a year ago, 7th in total offense. And Nevada trying to go toe-to-toe with them in terms of what they can do offensively, and they might have to gamble a little bit along the way. Another short field for Logan Woodside. This time they start at the 47. Swanson, his running back, off to his right. Woodside looking to throw. Deep ball, far sideline, and it's incomplete. Tried to stretch him out there as he looked for Deontay Johnson, the sophomore from Ruskin, Florida.
And that's a play right there. Woodside was staring at him the whole entire time. But Ansani Rufus was also in that vicinity. Got to watch them on that double team, but they really want to try to loosen this Nevada defense.
Yeah, they're going to back him up here. Holding is the call on the Rockets.
And that's the tell to this defensive front. They are getting after him in the passing game, and they're trying to get that ball out there. They're trying to loosen that defense by going with that go route, but it backfires. So now they got set 1st and long.
1st and 20 now, backed up to their side of the field. It was on Jordan Fisher, the tight end, the guilty party. Now the Rockets at their 44-yard line. Here's a look at a pistol formation for Toledo. A lot of different looks from their spread. It'll be Swanson straight ahead, gets it across the 45 for a couple, and that's it. That was Jerry's McDade, their biggest player up front. He goes 6'1" and 310.
And that's what they need to do. Last year they had a very tough time stopping the run. New defensive scheme. These guys have really taken to it. They did well against the run last week against a bigger front in Northwestern, and we can see it in today's game. They've given up a little bit, but this front is staying active and getting on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 18 now, midway through this first quarter. Each team with a field goal. Toledo only had to go 45 yards to get into, or 38 yards to get into field goal range on their first trip. They'll send Fisher, the tight end, in motion this time. Woodside has plenty of time, fires it when he overshoots Johnson. Not close with that one, and it's not often Woodside is off in terms of his accuracy. He's one of the tops in the country in throwing the football.
You got to attribute that to the defense. Jeff Castile is doing a great job as a defense coordinator, mixing things up, making them think they're going to bring some pressure from the slot. moving the safeties around, and the communication between Woodside and the receivers are off right now.
3rd and 18 now. Woodside rolling right. It's going to take off with the football, and he slides down at the 48-yard line, and Nevada has done a tremendous job on this series. They're going to force the punt. Asani Rufus coming up from his bandit safety position to make the play.
I mean, when you think about this, the coach believes in his team. He went for it on 4th down in the first series. They only gave him a field goal. He's trusting his defense. They paid it off because they did not give up 3 points. They actually got a penalty, and they're forcing a punt.
Bailey Flint standing on his 33. Voshan Crumby back at the Nevada 11 awaits it. Hangs it high in the air. And Crumby comes up and makes a fair catch at the 22-yard line. So Nevada in their home opener with a defensive stop against the high-powered Toledo club after that 23-yard punt. They'll get the football back. Rockets in the Wolfpack here in Reno. Locked up in a good one.
Some moments can change everything. You can't always predict them, but you can game plan for them. For 150 years, generations of families have chosen Pacific Life for retirement and life insurance solutions to help them reach their goals. Being ready for wherever life leads. That's the power of Pacific. Ask a financial advisor about Pacific Life.
We want Falcons in New York! Jets in LA! Or Buccaneers in a quaint little New England bed and breakfast.
Can you please pass the marmalade, Charlie?
Switch to DirecTV and watch all the teams no matter where you live with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
We're tied at 3. 7-11 to go first quarter. Nevada getting a defensive stop, and they have the football at the 22-yard line here on a beautiful day in Reno, Nevada. Wolfpack trying to bounce back from a 31-20 loss at Northwestern. And so far, they've done a nice job against Logan Woodside. And Ganji's off to a good start in the passing department. 5 for his first 8 through the air.
2 of those are drops.
Has time. Deep ball downfield. He wanted Demps. And locked up with him step for step was Mathis, 2nd and 10.
And that's a name we haven't called out yet. Demps, their big-time receiver, went over 1,000 yards last week. This guy knows how to catch the ball away from his body and use that tall frame. So when Ganji puts it on him, he can definitely make a catch.
He's the leader of that core, 6'4" and 200 to be exact. On 2nd and 10, they'll hand it off. And not much doing on the left side that time as Jawan Woodley and Jordan Williams were over there to shut down Jackson Kincaid.
Now this is important 3rd down because the past 2 drives they came out, they started running the ball first and got themselves positive yardage. So that made 2nd and short, 3rd and short. When you start with the pass, the first play, and it becomes incomplete. Now you're playing against the sticks.
4 receiver look, 2 to each side for Ganji, trying to keep this drive going. Steps up. And he throws behind his intended receiver Demps that time with Mathis on the coverage. And they'll have to punt it away, and Toledo will get good field position out of this.
Yeah, the tough part on that side of the field, the sun is in the receiver's eyes, so that makes it difficult sometimes when you're looking back for the ball. But that part looked like there's also miscommunication. Looks like Ganji threw it just a little too late behind Demps.
So Quentin Conaway will be called on here. Sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma, who last year was the punter at Golden West Junior College in California. And there's a late Wolfpack player getting on the field. That's Corey Rush, and they have to burn a timeout here.
Timeout, Nevada. This is the first timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So you hate to see that on a special team situation.
And this is where the learning curve comes in with the new coaches, new staff, figuring things out. When you're on the defensive side and you're clear on the other side of the field, you have to pay attention to what's going on. Whenever teams, the offense or defense comes off the field, they go to the sideline, they discuss things, but at some point that stops. And so as a player, you have to become aware of where you need to be if the offense doesn't get the first down.
Well, there he is, Jay Norville, 31 years, part of 14 bowl games, 8 seniors, but 42 new players. But again, the new system is what it takes time. And he says Rome wasn't built in a day. That's what he mentioned to us this week. They play pretty well here.
And he wants hunger, he wants energy, he wants aggressiveness, and that's exactly what you're seeing out of this team.
Here comes pressure on Conaway, who rolls right and kicks it on the run out of bounds. And good pressure that time from the Rockets. Toledo will get excellent field position. Let's see where they mark this. Right at the midfield stripe, the 50-yard line after that 26-yard punt.
Now, Coach Candle and Toledo could script out their starting point for each drive. They couldn't ask for a better spot. You think about it, all 3 drives have started around the 50 or less.
Right.
And you would think with this offense, they'd already have 21 points up. That's a credit to Nevada's defense right now. They are playing well. They're making sure this high-powered offense doesn't get off on a fast step.
Camellia Bowl champions a year ago, 9 wins. School record, 518 yards per game. He took over as head coach in December of 2015 and has been rolling with this program, trying to take the next step this year. From the 50, handoff to Art Tompkins, trying to reverse his field. A lot of running, and maybe a couple yards, and that's it to show for it. Malik Reed on the tackle.
And this is one thing Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator, told us about last week's game. He goes, guys were there, but they weren't wrapping up. They were missing tackles. We had guys in position. And you saw right there the quintessential thing about team tackling. Stretch it out, let the next man get him, and that's what happened.
Second down, and they actually gave him 3 yards, so it'll be a 2nd and 7 at the 47 now for Woodside and the Rockets. He's just 1 of 5 through the air so far. In motion is Darrell Richards to the near side of the field. Off the play fake, downfield, incomplete. Wanted Jordan Fisher, and the tight end was hit hard by Rufus across the middle right at the hash mark, and let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, and that's something Woodside kind of left his tight end out to dry. When you're going across the middle in that way and that ball sails just a little bit high, that gives Rufus the opportunity, the safety, Asani Rufus, to come in there and make that hit. You can see he's up in the air. It's a little bit overthrown. He does not even have a chance to pull that in. And I have to say, Rufus did a good job to make sure he didn't target the player. When he comes out, you can see he moves his head out of the way. He hits him with his shoulder, but that's a throw that Woodside probably wishes he had back.
Fisher almost hauled it in. He is a big kid at 6'3" and 225.
The previous play is under further review.
And they're reviewing this play for targeting. Rufus, kind of a coach on the field, a tremendous safety, breaking that play up. And here's another look.
Right, and we kind of talked to the officials pregame about this. Now, they may get him a little bit as you slow it down. Is he leading with the head? From that angle, it kind of doesn't look like it. It looks like he's trying to go with the shoulder. The hard part is when you look at Fisher, as he's going for the ball, his momentum is taking him down that way. So it's hard to say that's a bang-bang play. We talked about these are tough. It's tough on officials. It's tough on the players. A defender, what point did I pull off? If I pull off too soon and he catches it, I'll be in trouble. If I don't pull off too soon, I might get a targeted hit. It's a tough situation.
It's good to see Fisher up and about. This is a Nevada team that is flying around, though, defensively. And it kind of starts with those safeties, Baber and Rufus. They are great leaders back there.
And you can see, and that's why when we talk about impact players of the game, it starts down the middle. And those guys in the safety positions for both teams, but especially for Nevada, they struggled last week. Blown coverages, guys not being in the right spot. So as safeties, you're the quarterback back there. You have to make sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be, and then you come clean up when there's a busted play. That was a busted play, and that's why Rufus had to come in there and clean that up.
And you wonder if it has helped Nevada having played a Big Ten foe like Northwestern in that first game. Meanwhile, Toledo coming off a big, easy win over Elon. You know, that's a different speed, isn't it? I mean, Nevada is really playing toe-to-toe with Toledo so far.
And that's a good point to bring, because when you think about Nevada going on the road, playing a Big Ten team with a big front, having to be physical, having to play fast, and feeling like they let that game slip through their fingers, you know you're going to come in ready for a Toledo team that you know is going to pass the ball. Toledo, it's like that boxer that should be winning a fight sometimes, but it's taking them a few rounds because they're getting knocked around. They haven't figured out the other opponent, and right now that's what Toledo's doing.
Well, they're reviewing this play, and here's the targeting rule. A defenseless opponent with forcible contact to the head neck area or forcible hit by the crown of the helmet, that's what you look for. And You played defensive back. It's something they did not focus on when you play, but it is a big point of emphasis this year.
Yeah. When I played this, I mean, NFL's great as hits. I mean, this was not even something that was in discussion. You actually got bonus points if you were able to knock somebody out. The game is different. I was protected. You can see now when you watch, it's hard to say, but from that angle, okay, one can say maybe they think he's leading with his helmet. As he comes in, I see him turning his shoulder a bit and trying to throw his arm up there. Again, the hard part comes with Jordan. So Jordan Fisher, as he's going his angle, he's defenseless. He can't control as he's coming down. So.
And they're going to call it targeting shoulder to head is the call here against Rufus.
And that's the tough part. I guarantee Rufus, he wasn't trying to do that, but the momentum of the receiver and the direction he was going, they want the defender to try to adjust. The tough part for defenders, when you're coming in full speed, if it's a big guy, imagine if that was Gronkowski. You know, that's the type of thing you're thinking about. You have to dislodge a ball. So it just makes it tough. It's tough on the players. It's really tough on the defense because you can't control what the other side is doing. You're just trying to come in.
Here's Ron Hudson. After they review this play, give us the official word.
After further review, there's targeting on number 2 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Number 2 is disqualified.
And that is a big play in this game. Rufus, one of their leaders who's played so well in the early going, is out of the game. It also gives Toledo the first down and puts them in position to score some points here. But the big story is he'll no longer be back there with Baber.
And that's what's tough. You can see he's very distraught and upset. And as a former defensive back, it's so hard. It's so hard to figure out where you're supposed to come in at. If you think about Odell Beckham Jr. with that injury that he got that he's coming back from, that's what it's going to be left to, where defenders are going to say, fine, I'm just going to come in low at your knee because then I won't get called for targeting and hopefully I don't give you an ACL.
So a first down now at the 32-yard line. A big play here at the 5:34 mark in the first quarter. Marcus Lucas is now in at that bandit safety position next to Baber. Handoff to Art Tompkins running off the left side, and he moves it down to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play.
Now the thing about it with Marcus Lucas stepping in there, I mean, there's going to be a lot on this plate. Can the redshirt freshman handle all the adjustments and call, or are they going to maybe switch it and have Baber go to that spot and move him over where Baber is?
It's Tompkins again off the right side, and he has a first down. Corey Rush on the tackle, and here they go up tempo, quickly to the line of scrimmage. Little option pitch, shuttles it underhand, and that doesn't work this time for Tompkins as Gabe Sewell swallows him up, no gain.
This defense has to decide this mentality and attitude. Do we stick with it when we lose one of our leaders? Do we keep going? And I think right now we can see them start to fire themselves up. And this is always the hard part about the spread and the way the game works. The closer they get to the end zone, the harder it is for them to do things because they're so used to spreading things out and the field gets shrink.
Toledo sticking with the run here. They've got a 2nd and 9. Woodside has completed just 1 pass in 6 attempts here in the first quarter. 3 receiver look this time. Sends McKinley Lewis in motion. Handoff right up the gut. It's Tompkins, and he's down to the 7. Inside the 7 to the 6. It'll be a 1st and goal. 15-yard pickup. Damian Baber on the tackle.
That's what he needed to do. Misdirection, created that seam, and you saw the speed of Tompkins getting north and south.
And here they go with that tempo again. Tompkins again, shut down at the line of scrimmage. I think a flag came in after the play. They'll have to sort that one out.
Nevada would hope it's on Toledo to back them up a little bit.
Holding, number 72, offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's Bryce Harris, the sophomore up front. And he's a backup to Nate Jeppesen at that center spot.
Now this defense, if they can just hold them to 3 again, that's a big win. And this helps the defense out, backing them up a little bit so that now things have to develop a little bit more in front. I'd like to see him come up with a blitz right now. That'd be a good call. Bring some pressure back there, see if they can force them farther back.
1st and goal now, outside the 16. They shift the formation to the top of the screen as Gilliam is in motion. Flag is thrown. Handoff. Tompkins weaves his way down to the 12. Hausia Sakona on the tackle.
That makes me wonder if a defender lined up in the zone before the ball was snapped and didn't get back.
There is no or illegal formation. Down.
So the play will stand. That carry by Tompkins gives him a 2nd and goal now. And you got to spot the ball here. It's going to be at the 12-yard line in this tie game.
That's funny. We haven't called Cody Thompson's name a whole lot. Their stud receiver. Be interesting to see if he can get the ball right now.
They've rushed it 12 times, thrown it only 6 times. There is Thompson in motion. They throw it to the top of the field. It's Deontay Johnson, and he's in for the touchdown. Somebody missed an assignment there. He had smooth sailing for 6, and the sophomore gives the Rockets a 9-3 lead.
That's a play where the corner on the outside, I think it was Elijah Moody, was in position. As he comes out outside in, you have to make sure you maintain that position. He stumbles, gives up that spot, so now the runner has a free release outside instead of coming inside where the rest of the tacklers would be. Those are the type of things that cost them the game last week, the mental mistakes without wrapping up on tackles.
Johnson's first touchdown catch. He also has a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Big addition this year after he was injured a year ago. Here's Jamison Vest for the PAT. And it's through there, and it's 10-3 Toledo. They kind of cleared out a side here. It worked effectively on that sideline.
Yeah, it's the bubble screen on the outside. You can see as he throws the ball to the outside. Now they have numbers. There's 3 guys there, but you see right there, that I believe that's Elijah Moody. He cuts inside. If he just stays outside, he forces them to the other 2 tacklers. And in not doing so, that's what gave up the touchdown. And this is the stuff that Coach Jeff Castile talked about that they had to get better on. We've seen them get better on. They just had the middle mistake on that play, which cost them the touchdown.
And he moved past Crumby, who had a shot at him and found the end zone. And it's a 10-3 game now. You're not going to keep Logan Woodside in check for a long period of time. He's now 2 for 7 through the air. They've kind of leaned on the ground game here a little bit.
Right, and they make their plays on the yak, yards after catch, and we just saw right there what Deontay Johnson and these guys are able to do. They have a lot of speed guys, and when they get the balls in their hand, they get north and south in a hurry. And so as a defense, you have to play to your strength and you have to play to your help. When you're on the outside, you got to turn everything inside. If you're on the inside, you got to hold your gap. And if you do that, like they've been able to do up until this point, it allows the offense not to be successful. So it's a matter of understanding what happened and making adjustments. Now we have to see if defensively Toledo can keep Nevada from driving down the field, because this offense for Nevada has been moving the ball. They've just stopped themselves.
Vest from the 35, a booming kick in this high altitude through the end zone. And Nevada will start from the 25-yard line. Well, the Wolfpack have given Toledo a short field on 3 different possessions. They've done some good things defensively, and their offense would like to get it ramped up now a little bit.
Exactly, and you know, it's inevitable when you have a high-powered offense, you keep giving the ball to the middle of the field, they will find a way to get in there. So that's kudos to the defense to be able, out of 3 times, just to hold them to 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's big, because it easily could have been 21 instead of 10. The big thing now is the offense has to help their defense out. They have to eat up some drives. They need to keep that offense off the field by still going fast-paced, but at a pace that they eat up clock.
Trips to the right side. Kincaid is the running back. 4-receiver look for Ganji. Hands it off to Kincaid straight ahead. And maybe a yard, and that's it up to the 26-yard line. Zach Quinn, the senior, who led them in tackles in week 1 on the stop.
And I'd like to see in those type of situations, Ganji hasn't really ran with the ball yet. Set that up, feed that a few more times, and let him use his legs to get outside, because that will then again open up the middle for that run.
Jay Norvell, a new system, the air raid attack. Pressure coming. They set up the screen, and it's well conceived. And it's Kincaid with a lot of running room to the 40. And he's up to the 43. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Josh Teachy on the tackle.
What a clever throw by Ganji, but I hope it doesn't come back, because that was such a beautiful play. But it could be holding on the offense.
Person tripping, number 62 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. replay the down.
That's Palomares, the left guard, and that race is an 18-yard pickup.
Okay, that's 2 penalties on Palomares that have cost his team. They had a 4th and 2 that he got that 5-yard penalty that they had to kick the field goal. Then they get a big gain and that penalty. These are things that are mental mistakes. When you're beat, you got to trust your running back. You got to trust the quarterback to get out of the way. Don't compound being beat by doing what I like to call bonehead moves. When you throw your foot out to try to trip a guy, that means you're tired and out of position and you're just reaching. Let him go, trust the other guy.
Now some whistles here as they get the football. You need to spot it in the right spot. They've got it on the 13 right now after that tripping penalty. Just want to make sure that was the right spot. It is, and it's a 2nd and 22 now for the Wolfpack. They need to make the 35-yard line to pick up a first down. Toledo rushing 4. Ganji under duress. He's going to take off with it now. And he's hit hard and knocked down at the 17-yard line. Ganji has some ability to run it. It's not their number 1 option. Choose our skipper on the tackle, the end.
But that's smart. If you watch what Ganji's doing, he is reading what his reads, where he's supposed to go with the ball. And when he doesn't see it, he started on the right side of the field. He moved to the middle of the field. He was on his way to the left side of the field. He saw it all broke down. That's when, as a quarterback, you use your legs, get some positive yards.
3rd and 19 now from the 16-yard line. Ganji, pressure coming, near sideline. It's going to be well short of the first down. The catch is made by Mannix. After a 9-yard pickup, Justin Clark on the stop, and they'll have to punt the football. Really put themselves in a tough spot after that tripping penalty.
Yeah, and that when you get a penalty that puts you back that far, you have to make sure you make great plays. And it's tough because this defense knows how many yards you have to get a first down. So it's hard to get those big chunks, and they weren't able to get those big chunks they needed to at least get themselves maybe at 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 10 that they can try to convert it.
Let's see if Toledo's going to get a short field again. Quentin Conaway standing at his 10-yard line, and he bobbles the football, and the kick is blocked. It's loose at the 6, and it will be right there. The Rockets will have it. The bobble by Conaway, and he kicked it right into a Rockets defender, and Toledo will have a short field. They'll have a 1st and goal.
Here's the tough part. When you do the rugby-style kick, he's catching it trying to move. So before he can move, you must catch it. He does not catch the ball cleanly, and now he's in a panic trying to get the ball out. Luckily, they were able to jump on it just to give the defense a chance to come out there and see if they can stop it and force a field goal or even get a turnover. But these are the mental mistakes. These are the things that cost them last week in the game, and we're seeing it costly. It goes to the penalty that led to the long yardage. Now this led to the punt.
That was Reggie Gilliam that blocked it. He also doubles as their tight end. 1st and goal now from the 7. Tompkins, the running back, dances, now works off the left side, and he's inside the 5-yard line, and it'll be a 2nd and goal from there. It's been the Toledo rushing attack that has been doing the work here. E.J. Muhammad on the stop.
And I think for them, they understand they must run the ball. This defense is much more improved, and if you want to pass, you got to make them honor your run.
And it's Tompkins again. He's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. That was Hausia Sakona, sophomore Salt Lake City nose tackle.
And Sakona comes in there and does a good job of blowing it up. If you're the defensive front, especially in the red zone, you must win the line of scrimmage battle. And that means you must be 1 yard to 2 yards on the other side. When you can do that, that blows up a run play, especially this dive play. You can see Sakona. They're trying to get around. He's in there. When he's in the backfield, the running back doesn't have an opportunity to pick the seam because he's in his lane.
3rd and goal. Final seconds ticking down here in the 1st quarter. Straight ahead. Tompkins, did he get in? He did not. Baber on the tackle inside the 1. It'll be a 4th down from there, and that'll be the final play of this 1st quarter.
Baber doing a good, and he's a little bit hurt there. Now, here's the hard part. That was a hard hit, and you can see it's taking him a second to get up. Baber came in there, and they were contact to contact.
The ruling on the field is a goal up. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
1st quarter in the books. They're going to take a look at the spot of this football inside the 1. As it stands now, it'll be 4th and goal. Toledo again knocking on the door. This one appeared on paper to be a high-scoring matchup. We've seen plenty of highlights so far. 10-3 lead for the Rockets. Second quarter coming up. Toledo leads Nevada 10-3 as we open up the second quarter. And they're right on the goal line here. That last carry by Tompkins inside the 1, and they took a look at the spot. Here it is.
And see, Baber does a good job coming in, and it's actually 2 tacklers there. That's interesting. I think that's a favorable spot from the way the pitcher, because it looks like he got hit back a little farther than where he finished.
And they do mark it short of the goal line. It's 4th and goal, and Toledo going for it here to open up the second quarter. High formation, straight ahead, touchdown. Reggie Gilliam, the sophomore, had enough to get it across at 235 pounds.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're looking and talking, because that looked like the New England Patriot Kansas City Chief game on Thursday. A couple of those 4th down things where the Patriots thought they had it and the Chiefs stopped them.
Is that the ball carrier was short of the goal line. First down, Nevada.
Oh, we saw a touchdown call, but they rule it short of the goal line.
They called it off because when you watch this, as he goes, he gets stopped right there, and that's Gabe Sewell. Looks like comes across, hits him before he has the momentum to get forward, and Gabe Sewell, 6 foot, 230 inside linebacker. Look at that. He meets him before he can even get his momentum going. What a stop by this Nevada defense. The pressure they've been put into to have that happen and to walk away with 0 points, that is a huge win.
You saw the line judge with the touchdown call, but the judge closest to the ball made the official call short of the goal line. A big stand for the Nevada defense.
Now Toledo's defense needs to see if they can take advantage of this poor positional start for Nevada.
3 running backs and some movement up front. Toledo jumping across.
I believe that's the 3rd time Toledo has jumped offsides on first down.
Offside, number 97, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
All the other penalties didn't cost Toledo. This one does, because you had a team pinned up inside the 1. Now you just gave them some wiggle room.
We call that a Reggie Howard, 97, who's checks off now on a 1st and 5. Handoff to the left side and a couple yards, and that's it. That was Ola Adani, the junior end, with a nice play.
Yeah, this defense came up and wrapped up. You see Ola right there. Does a great job of securing the edge, making sure the ball carrier had to be turned in to where the rest of the posse was.
They go back to Kincaid again on a 2nd down and 3, and he'll be short of the stick. Across the 9-yard line, 3rd and short coming up here. Neither team has converted on a 3rd down in this game. Malik Jones on that last stop.
And I like the mindset of both these teams. They're like, you know, we're going to line up and just run. And both of them are doing it. It's like, we're going to make the defense have to stop this run game. So this is a slugfest. We thought it'd be a lot more scoring, but the defenses are proving us wrong.
A bigger back in there now. Moore comes in for Kincaid. They're going to throw the football. Ganji setting up Moore on the screen pass, turns the corner, and he has a first down up to the 12-yard line. 3 yards for the play to move the chains, and a big conversion there. Jack Lynch on the tackle.
And the tricky thing on this screenplay is only one offensive lineman that pulls. Only one pulls out, so it sets up that edge, and then the big body Moore is able to use that leverage to get that edge, get that conversion for the first down.
Moore is tough to bring down at 220 pounds. Play action, Ganji with pressure coming, incomplete. Looking for McLean Mannix on a crossing pattern. Josh Tichy, the free safety on coverage.
DeBartolo Blue was coming in on a blitz there. Ganji is doing a very good job of staying in the pocket as long as possible. A year ago, he was running a little too soon. Now you see the growth where he's actually looking, seeing the pressure, and waiting for his guys to get to the right spot.
7 for 13 through the air, 46 yards so far. Going to run it this time with Moore, and the Rockets ready for that one. They shut him down after a 1-yard pickup. Juwan Woodley, a natural leader, Butkus and Lombardi candidate, 3-year starter on the play.
Yeah, that's just fluidity right there. He read that. He got to that edge. The one thing about this Toledo defense, they've done a great job of containing the run on the outside. All the success that Nevada's had has been between the tackles when they found the seams. They have not been able to bounce stuff outside.
They empty the backfield now on a 3rd and 9. 5-receiver look. Ganji steps up, downfield, and it is almost intercepted. Threw it where no teammate was, and Khalil Robinson had his sights set on that one, and it would have been a pick 6.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm not sure if he was trying to go to Justin Brent. I'm not sure if that's who was in the slot or not. That might have been Travion Armstrong, but that was just a highly overthrown ball, and Khalil Robinson, those don't come too often. I guarantee you he's kicking himself in the butt as a defensive back. That's the interception he wish he had.
Conaway and a end-over-end wobbler out of bounds, and let's see where they mark this. Toledo again is going to have a short field, and the side judge here is going to mark it at the 34-yard line. The Rockets will get it back.
On the field.
12:52 to go before halftime. Toledo up by a touchdown after that 20-yard punt.
Our mountains challenge us, push us back, knock us down, tell us it can't be done. But then, one day you reach the summit, and you realize the harder the climb, the better the reward. Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Putting off vehicle maintenance? We've got you covered. The highly trained technicians at Jiffy Lube do more than just oil changes. We also exchange transmission fluid, rotate tires, and more, all in a jiffy.
Toledo with a 10-3 lead here. And here's what they do not have, this high-powered offense without Kareem Hunt. What a display he put on for the Chiefs against the Patriots in his debut.
Oh, yeah, and when you look at that game, they kind of jinxed him and say he's never fumbled, then he fumbles. But the way he came back, that shows you how talented Alan Reed is able to get guys and make big plays when he had guys like that.
But their running backs in this game have done a nice job. 16 carries, 68 yards from Tompkins, Swanson, and Gilliam, who carried it once. Woodside to put it in the air, downfield, and he has his target, Cody Thompson, for a first down. We were waiting to call his name, and he has a first down to the 20. This is a Bolitnikoff, an All-America candidate. Had 5 catches for 112 yards last week. He is as good as you'll see.
Yeah, good job of finding the zone. And Woodside, this is the accuracy he's known for. Puts it right there on the spot. Doesn't have to reach for it. Able to gain a first down.
And give it to Terry Swanson. He gets a couple yards between the tackles down to the 18-yard line. Sakona on the stop. Thompson, school record 1,269 yards. You see him last year. He averaged almost 20 per catch. That was 9th best in the nation, and he has 11 career 100-yard receiving games. In the red zone now on a 2nd and 8. Handoff, Swanson on the delay inside the 10, and he's out of bounds. It'll be a 1st and goal. Elijah Moody on the tackle. That was a well-conceived play there.
It was. They used the motion of the receiver to pull the defense one way, then Nevada lost its contain. You can see everything's coming there. At that last point, Marcus Lucas, who came in, he needed to keep sliding outside. He didn't get outside. That allowed the run to bounce.
12-yard pickup for Swanson, the senior from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. They're knocking on the door again. They send Desmond Phillips in motion. Handoff. Swanson puts his head down, and he's inside the 5. Damian Baber and also Malik Reed, the end, on the stop.
There's a lot being asked of the Nevada defense with everything that's been going on, the field position that they've had to start at every time. This has been a win for them to hold a high-powered offense like this to 10 points for this many times starting at the middle of the field. So it'd be great if they can somehow pull out another where they force them for 3 points, but you got to give it up for this defense for what they've been able to do.
2nd and goal from the 3. Swanson gets his number called, and he has a touchdown off the left side. So the Rockets get their first rushing touchdown. Swanson in his 3rd of the season, and it's 16-3.
Watch Patrick Chowder just blows through, gets an opportunity, but the offensive line does a great job right there. Chandler Cotterman pushing him along the side, opening it up for Terry Swanson. They got a touchdown. This defense has been asked to do a lot, and for Toledo, this is probably what they're expecting, to at least get some points on the board in the red zone.
Big game so far for Swanson. Jamison Vest for the extra point, and it's 17-3. Again, a short field, 5 plays, 34 yards after the 20-yard punt, and Nevada making it easy on Toledo.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. This defense has done everything that they can to try to keep them out, but Toledo's done a great job of taking the opportunities, getting in the red zone, and getting touchdowns, and not taking field goals here in the second quarter.
He wants 3D printed a 3D printer. He is the most interesting man in the world, and he's building a statue for the most interesting fan of college football.
Every time I raise my hand, I start a wave. I proposed to my wife using a giant foam finger. Who's number 1? This guy. Where do you go, about 6'7"?
Your statue could be in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Stay thirsty, mis amigos.
Stand for the final push to the playoffs. MLS, stand as one. Catch the MLS action tomorrow on ESPN2. It's Atlanta United versus LA Galaxy at 7 Eastern.
3 short scoring drives for Toledo. They lead Nevada 17-3, just under 11 minutes to go. Second quarter. This is a Toledo offense that has high expectations after finishing with these numbers last year, with Woodside and Thompson throwing and receiving the football, and of course Kareem Hunt running it, and they expect to be just as good this year.
Yeah, and you think about when they have the quarterback they have in Woodside, he's averaged last year 317 yards passing a game. He hasn't even come close to sniffing that today.
It shows you how good they are, though. They can beat you in a lot of different ways, and there's a touchback again, and Nevada will have it at the 25-yard line. Well, Nevada offensively has not been able to get into the end zone. Ganji is 7 of 14 for 46 yards. They have 9 carries, 37 on the ground, but they need to have some big plays here if they want to keep up with this Toledo team.
That flow they had that first quarter when they didn't get in the end zone win for it, they've kind of lost that mojo. They need to get that back, because with everything that's happened, they get a touchdown right now, they're still right in the game.
Kicking team for 30.
We have an illegal formation on the kicking team. They lined up the offense and the defense, and then now they make that call. So they'll have to bring those guys off the field, put the special team members back on.
Oh, wow. I guarantee the coaches would love the fact that they can say, can't we just take the 5-yard penalty and just move on? But in essence, this could be a plus, because special teams, right now, you look at Toledo, they've been winning that battle.
Yeah, the punting game has really been a struggle for Nevada. Of course, they had Alex Boy last year, a tremendous punter at Nevada, and Quentin Conaway has really struggled. They had a 20-yard punt his last time.
But here's where the advantage comes in. They've been putting it in the end zone. They haven't had a chance to come out. Now that it had to be backed up, let's see if these guys can get maybe put a return to help their offense out, maybe get them starting at the 40 to 50-yard line.
So Jamison Vest now will kick it from his 30. And Brent has an opportunity 5 yards deep. He bobbles it, though, and he'll take a knee. And again, they'll come out to the 25-yard line. So this is a Nevada team that's trying to get their offense jump-started here. And remember Ganji last year, Jay, he had a couple games where he really played well. He had 300 yards against Wyoming, 301 at New Mexico. So he's capable of putting up big numbers.
He is, and some of those incompletes are not on him. They were receiver dropping the ball. So I think right now it's going to be on Coach Mummy, the offense coordinator, really put together some plays that gets this offense back on track and stretched out. We haven't called Dip's name out in a while. Maybe stretch it down the field to him.
They'll go with a 4-receiver look, trips to the short side of the field. Ganji pump fakes that way, now goes downfield for Mannix, and incomplete. The pump and go there.
They were trying to get it, the fake receiver screen and get somebody going up, but a good job done there by Jawan Woodley, pushing him farther out so that he didn't have the chance. I'm taking that back. There was DeBartolo DeBarolo Blue that did that. Didn't give him a chance to get back up on that line to catch that ball.
2nd and 10 now. 2 receivers to each side now. Different look for the Wolfpack with Kincaid at running back. They'll hand it off to number 5, and he gets a couple yards up to the 27-yard line. 3rd and 8 coming up. Zach Quinn on the stop.
Yeah, the Toledo defense has definitely tightened up here as the game has progressed, have done some things differently to really force this offense to slow down. I really would love to see Ganji hold on to that ball, though. They want that ball run between the tackles. The best way to do it is let him tuck it and run on the outside to loosen that front up.
3rd and 8, nearing the 10-minute mark. Ganji steps up, hit as he delivers, incomplete. Wanted Mannix, and he took a shot as he delivered the football.
You're seeing the speed of Toledo's secondary. They are staying with the receivers of Nevada, and that's making it tough because Ganji is there's not enough space for him to slide it in, and the pressure has been picked up by Toledo. They're starting to get in the backfield a whole lot more. You watch this pressure, it's just a 3-man rush. You would think it'd be blocked, but right there, Marquise Moore is able to come in and put that pressure, so now Ganji doesn't have the time to let that play develop. Offensive line should never get beat on 3-man front.
And they've targeted Mannix 8 times, but he only has 3 receptions. Here's the kick from Conaway. It's a good one. That should give him some confidence. And the fair catch called for and made at the 32-yard line. As that was Danzel McKinley-Lewis receiving the football. Toledo, you'd have to say, not their A game offensively, but you look at the scoreboard, they're up a couple touchdowns. They're able to put points on the board quickly. This could get out of hand if they score here a couple more times.
It could, and you think about it, as good as a team they are, they had to do a short field. They got stopped numerous times. I mean, last week, they were 4 of 8 in the red zone. They only scored 4 touchdowns. They had to kick 4 field goals. So this offense is still probably trying to find his legs, and this Nevada defense, after all the struggles they had last week, they've kept this team in the game, and if they can force this team to punt on 3 and out, the offense must capitalize.
They stick with a ground game, and it's Swanson. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Hausia Sakona really playing well at the nose tackle spot. How about this guy? He loves football, but his favorite hobby is rugby. He likes contact.
Oh yeah, and this is the perfect kind of contact because he's winning that battle against the center right now. Getting in the backfield, forcing that running back, no spot to run.
2nd and 10. Woodside just 3 of 8, 39 yards, but his team up a couple touchdowns. Again, hands it off to Swanson. Trying to move the pile forward and does to the 35. And this is the case. This shows Woodside. He's being a game manager. He's not trying to force something here. The run game has been there, and they have stuck with it.
And I think it's important for Toledo. They're a high-powered offense. They pass the ball well, but they know they're in a dogfight right now. They know even though the score says what it says, they're in a tough fight. And they must stay consistent and true to running the ball because I guarantee you come the second half, we're going to see them try to air it out, stretch out a little bit more. And if they don't establish a run, then it will be much tougher for them to pass.
3rd and 7 as we hit the 9-minute mark here in the first half. McKinley-Lewis shuffles in motion. Woodside with pressure coming over the middle. Catch made by Thompson. First down to midfield and down to the Nevada 48-yard line. Thompson, a guy that can heat up quickly. Aki Muhammad on the tackle, 17-yard pickup.
And here's where they go fast-paced. They just want to get back to the line and snap. But you can see a nice, simple dig route. The corner gets beat. And this is why Thompson's on that watch list. The guy knows how to get in position for his quarterback.
Goes to the near side, and that's a completion to John Vay Johnson, the junior from Gary, Indiana. 8-yard pickup. Crumby runs him out of bounds.
And that's the whole thing about the fast-paced offense. When they get that first down, they want to hurry up, get to the line before you can get other guys in, get that ball snapped, try to catch that defense in a bad spot. Now they're in 2nd and short. So this is kind of what this offense is built to do. They're able to capitalize when you are slagging behind.
2nd and 2, just shy of the Nevada 40-yard line. Trips to the left side this time for Woodside. They run it with Swanson to the right side, and he's shut down right at the 40 by Corey Rush.
This defensive front, not on a consistent basis, but Corey Rush has just showed it again. There are times when they're able to slash in there and make the tackle in the backfield. this defense is really fighting. We talked a lot. Jeff Castile said, you know, there's too many mental mistakes, too many. We've seen what that has turned into. The biggest thing about it, though, is these guys are coming back out and they're still scrapping. They're still keeping themselves focused in the game. That's the growth that they're looking to see out of this team.
They bring Gilliam in as a blocking back with Swanson behind the quarterback. They're 1 of 4 on third downs. They give it to Swanson. He has a first down, and he's to the Nevada 34-yard line. Baber and Adams combining on the stop, a 6-yard pickup.
Toledo lining up in that pistol formation, so defensively you don't know if it's run or pass what they're going to do, giving that running back time to find the seam.
Again, it's Swanson. And he's down to the 32-yard line for a couple yards. Malik Reed on the tackle. Up front, this is a team that is experienced. They have 3 seniors, a junior and a sophomore, and they're very comfortable running it. You talk about the spread. It's not just about Woodside putting up gaudy numbers. They can do a lot of things on the ground well.
And that's why they do it. They run to set up the pass. So that's why they stick. And you watch, there's a lot of simple OT pulls left and right, but they want their running backs to run between those tackles and force that defense to bunch in there.
And there's Swanson again, and a good gain inside the 28, and they'll set up a 3rd and manageable after that 4-yard pickup. Lawson Hall, redshirt freshman, on the tackle.
Right, and because in doing that, then that's what opens up, like when they got the first down to Cody Thompson, because now the defense has to put more guys in the box. It puts one-on-one coverage on you guys on the outside. Now quarterback of Woodside with his accuracy can put that ball in a place where his receivers can make plays.
3rd and 4. Now Toledo's going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Toledo. That's their timeout. It'll be a full timeout.
Logan Woodside, the Toledo record holder in passing efficiency, has not had the big numbers, but his team threatening to score again. We'll break here in Reno. 17-3. The Rockets lead it.
Stand for the final push to the playoffs. When every game matters. And every goal can make the difference. When a win takes you one step closer to glory. MLS, stand as one. Catch the MLS action tomorrow on ESPN2. It's Atlanta United versus LA Galaxy at 7 Eastern.
They say you don't choose the app. The app chooses you. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
Logan Woodside, Heisman Trophy candidate, has Toledo knocking on the door again. He led the nation with 45 touchdown passes and had this number in terms of passing yardage last year, a Toledo record. And it's not just about the numbers, though, with Woodside. Film buff, note taker, vocal, great leader. He's only thrown for 64 yards here, but the rushing attack has been good. He's been making the right play calls. Let's see what he calls here on a 3rd and 4 from the 28. Going to fire downfield for Thompson, and he overshoots him. There's a penalty flag. They're going to call it on Daniel Brown, the cornerback, and that'll keep the drive going.
So I was looking to see where the push had occurred. Cody Thompson did a great job on the outside release. Ball seemed like it was overthrown a bit.
Pass interference, number 25, defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
It's hard to see from that spot, but you see Daniel Brown here at the end. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one when I look at that, because he doesn't turn his head back for the ball, but I don't know if that's catchable on top of that. So it's that catch-22 right in between that spot of, well, do you call it, do you not call it? But, you know, it can go either way, and we saw which way it went.
First down at the 13-yard line, and that's an All-American Thompson he's trying to deal with over there. They send Cody in motion behind the quarterback and throw it to him out of the backfield. Thompson to the 10, hit hard a couple times, and dropped at the 8. Crumby and Baber combined on the stop.
That was a good job by Crumby, getting off of his block, forcing Thompson to have to make a move sooner than he wanted to, and then the rest of the guys coming in, group tackling. That's how it's supposed to be. The play he gave up the touchdown before is because he didn't keep his outside containment. He kept his outside containment at that point.
Thompson now has 3 catches, 36 yards after that 4-yard pickup. They're 2 of 4 in the red zone, looking at a 2nd and 5. They need to get to the 3 for a first down.
Look for a run.
In motion, Deontay Johnson. Woodside. Under duress, rolling right. Now he throws back in the end zone, almost intercepted. McKinley Lewis, the intended target. Marcus Lucas was back there.
Woodside's very elusive quarterback. He's not really known like Ganji for running, but you can see keeps his eyes downfield. He makes Malik Reed miss, and then that's just a great breakup by the secondary. Everybody coming in there. I want to say that's Jaden Sawyer making sure that those throwing lanes had a lot of congestion. It wasn't going to be an easy catch.
3rd and 5. The Rockets just 2 of 5 on 3rd downs. Johnson and McKinley Lewis split right. Thompson, top of the screen. He'll go in motion.
Watch for Thompson.
Woodside has time. Throws low, and it is intercepted off the deflection. Voshan Crumby. Crumby breaks free. Flag is on the field. He's inside the 10 and knocked down at the 5-yard line.
What an athletic play if it holds up. Crumby on the drag underneath route. He gets chipped at the last second before the ball gets there.
Holding, number 21. Penalty is declined. First down, Nevada.
The interception stands, and what a huge turn of events. Voshan Crumby setting up Toledo with an opportunity to score a touchdown.
This defense needed something like that. This defense has kept this team and this offense in the game. Thompson's coming, he's going to drag across. You see him right there on the screen. He comes across. As he does so, he gets chopped the last second. He hits the ground. Ball comes up. Crumby keeps his awareness, picks the ball up. Right now, he's going to have to work on his speed. Okay, needs to start doing 100 a couple times because he's getting run down by everybody. And right here, Denzel gets a last second, gets him, McKinney Lewis. But now the offense gets a short field for the very first time in this game.
How about that pick?
That is just an excellent pick. It's what I call a work hard play. The defense has been working hard this entire game.
The ruling
now they
on
get
the
a
field
benefit.
of an interception is under further review.
They're reviewing this play. It was crazy that the ball bounced off of Thompson's leg and up into the air into the waiting arms of Crumby. It looked like something out of the Franco Harris Raiders Immaculate Reception book.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen the Seattle Seahawks do that in the Super Bowl. I mean, this is a type of play that has happened from time to time where balls get bumbled and either a receiver catches it or a defender picks it up. But right there you can see his hands are underneath because Thompson has great hands. It's just as he comes up, his knee hits it, bobs it up in the air, and Voshan Crumby is in the right place at the right time. But Voshan's going to have to work on his speed because I guarantee you in the film, win or lose, the rest of his DBs are going to roast him for getting caught from behind.
Well, if this stands, it will go as a 93-yard return. It would be his first career interception at the Division I level, a junior college All-American. Here's a look.
You can see his hands are underneath. Right there, his hand's underneath it. It's just he's trying to pull it up, and his momentum is slinging him back that he can't do it. And Voshan just does the rest, and he's getting run down. Deontay Johnson's almost going to catch him right there. And he does a good job of swimming between that point. But what vision. You can see he goes down, he catches it, his hands are right there. This is the reason this guy's up for All-American. I mean, he has mitts. Look at that. Right. That's underneath. I mean, that does not even come close to touching the ground. I mean, that's having mitts right there. That's good hands. But this is a play the defense needed. The defense has been asked to do so much in this game. And
it's a huge call right here. Yeah, I mean, if they change this call, Nevada could be in a position where they could get within a touchdown here.
Exactly. And it would have been great if the defense would have been able to score a touchdown because that would have been deserved.
There's a look at Voshan from Tallahassee, Florida. 2 years at Ventura Junior College in California.
And he's a big corner, 6'1", 195, just the type of body type NFL looks for.
And they are going to rule this an incomplete pass. We're going to get the official word from Ron Hudson here. And this is a huge call with 5:07 to go in the second quarter.
That is huge because from the views we look, it looked like his hand stayed underneath that. He didn't allow that ball to hit the ground. Sometimes you can't catch a break if that's the case. That's very frustrating, but this defense has stood up. They're going to have to force a field goal in this type of situation, which will still be a win for the defense with everything that they had to do to hold this type of offense to just 20 points in the first half. That would be huge.
We've been told it's been ruled incomplete. Here's another look.
You can look. So right there, I don't see it hitting the ground. It looks like it hits his body as he's wheeling around. From this view shows it a lot better. Right there, it doesn't. You can see his hand is still underneath. So I don't know what point do they think that it hit the ground, because I can't see it from that angle. I see white glove underneath football, but I don't get paid to make those kind of calls. And the tough part about it is when they're bang bang like that, just like the targeting situation, you got to hope that a call goes your way. Sometimes they don't, and then sometimes they compound, they fall on each other.
We've been told it's an incomplete pass, and we're not getting any word here. Ron Hudson eventually will let us know. Confirm it. And again, it's a huge call here. You could potentially have Nevada with a 1st and goal situation at the 6-yard line. That's where the football rests right now. Or Nevada a chance to score on the other end and extend this 14-point lead.
And that's the whole thing about it, is if it stays as a turnover and Nevada's able to capitalize and score, now you're down by 7 with 5 minutes left, and have to see what happens the rest of the half, with Toledo getting the ball coming to start the first half. But you're still within a game, and you have to think, if you're Nevada, with every bad thing that's happened, and if you can go into halftime down by 7, that's almost a win. So you got to see, because mentally this could take air out of players as well, too.
Here's what they're trying to sort out the clock. From what we understand, the ruling will be incompleted pass. They're trying to get the clock squared away, and until they get the clock squared away, then they'll give us the full run of what has happened here. Here we go.
After further review, the receiver did not control the ball when he went to the ground. The ball hit the ground, therefore it's an incomplete pass. Holding on number 71 of the offense is declined. 4th down at the 8-yard line.
So it will be 4th down. It's a big turn of events because Toledo.
Please reset the game clock to 5.
And this is the tough part.
They can get 3 at least.
They get 3, which is still a win for the defense.
Thank you.
But the air that gets taken out of the team right now, that's where the frustrating part happens. So that's a tough one. I mean, from our looks, it looked like his hand was underneath. Yes, it looked like he bobbled, but it looked like his hand was underneath as he bobbled when it came back up. The tough part would have been if the interception didn't happen, and they would have said incomplete pass. This is where it would have been.
Yep.
You know, field goal attempt, so on and so forth. But
so 4th down now, and 6, and they're going to bring Jamison Vest out for a field goal attempt. He has already converted from 25. This one will be a 26-yarder out of the hole of Cody Thompson. And what a huge swing, though. I mean, you could be up 17 as opposed to it being maybe a 7-point game before halftime.
And the thing about it is, Coach Norvell is like, this is a wide range of emotions, right? And so you're a new coach, new program, new players, and all these different things are happening. And he says we thrive on adversity. We want our players to understand and learn from adversity and get better from it. Let's see how they get better from this situation.
Vest is 5 for 5 on the season. And he knocks it through there, just inside that left upright. 20-3, Nevada, or Toledo leading Nevada, and Vest has a couple field goals as they go 12 plays and 60 yards. Their first sustained drive where they started on their side of the field.
Yeah, but you said the key word, 60 yards. This Toledo team has not had to go the length of the field for anything. The defense gets an A+ in my opinion, the way they've been playing. The issue has been the mental mistakes, the special teams, the penalties at the wrong time, the missed tackles at the wrong time. When those things happen, that's how the score is. Now, if you're Toledo, you got to be happy with everything that's happened that you're up 20-3, because in all reality, you could be down right now if Nevada was able to make you pay the way that they started the game by getting some points on the board and the way this defense has been playing.
Yeah, Woodside is just 6 for 13 through the air. It's been the ground game that has been the story for Toledo, and they've taken advantage of that short field. Vest to kick it away. Now up 17. Brent, 5 yards deep, again will take a knee, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. So Nevada, you know, you hate to see a big play taken away from the Nevada standpoint. Can they gain a little bit of momentum here heading into the break?
There's time. Personally, I would like to see them go 2-minute mode right now. They've kind of been out of front. The defenses have been on the field way too long. So when the offense gets out there, because they've been sitting so long, they've been a little bit stagnant. The best way to jumpstart your offense is the 2-minute, to pick up that tempo. Go a little bit more speed. Get their defense, Toledo's defense, on their heels. And I think that will help you get your mojo back.
Look at the average starting field position. Toledo, that short field, and there's a fumble. Ganji, and he hops back on it near the line of scrimmage. That could have been disaster.
And this is where one bad thing leads to another, It gets a bit frustrating when you see the handoff and he couldn't make his mind up. And I put that on Ganji. You're in control of when you stick in there or not. You got to be more aware.
On 2nd and 10, handoff to Kincaid, trying to navigate that right side, and he gets a yard, and that's it, up to the 26-yard line. Kincaid, a guy that they have tag teamed with Kelton Moore at that running back spot, a little bit more undersized. Sports hero Barry Sanders, that's a good one to look up to.
It definitely is. And that last play, that would have been a great opportunity for Ganji to keep the ball at that point in time, run around the outside. They had the numbers. They're going to have to do that if they want to open that inside run. Toledo's done a very good job later in this game of shutting down the inside run.
Pressure backside, the ball delivered in time to Brandon Scott, and the tight end has a first down to the 37-yard line, 11-yard pickup. Jack Lynch the tackle, but that was under duress as Adene was coming on the outside.
And Ganji has been under duress a good portion of this game, and he's done an excellent job of standing in the pocket. I thought what Scott did was exceptional. Knew they needed the first down, cut back inside, got that extra yardage.
Ganji, deep ball this time. He overshoots everybody. He was looking for Justin Brent downfield, 2nd and 10.
You know, one name we've only yelled once that really needs to find a way to get involved is Wyatt Demps. He's been very quiet. Right now he's being covered by Justin Clark here on the bottom of the screen, but Justin Clark is 5'11". Wyatt Demps is 6'4". You got to take that shot with your main guy.
Had 5 catches, 51 yards in the loss at Northwestern. Demps, senior leader. He is split to the bottom of the screen. You see him there, number 19. Mannix in motion, 4-receiver look. Ganji flushed out of the pocket, dumps it off to Demps at the 40, and he's gang tackled after a short gain. 3-yard pickup.
Now he has to be smart, because this is what a lot of guys do. When you want to get the ball and you finally get the ball, you try to do more than you should. The position he was in, he was trying to get that little bonus yardage. You got to be smart about that. You turn yourself back into all that traffic, bad things going to happen. Take what you got, go down, live for another play.
Make some substitutions here. They bring Scott back onto the field. Kelton Moore in at the running back spot as we near the 3-minute mark. You don't want to give Toledo the football back here where they could orchestrate a 2-minute drill.
Exactly. You can see the pressure might be coming from the top of the screen.
Ganji throws it away. Nothing there. I think initially he was looking at Mannix, and here comes a late flag. The back judge.
Well, what McLean Mannix was held, and when you watch what Ganji's doing, I mean, he's trying to put a little too much touch on the ball sometimes. Sometimes you just got to grip it and rip it. But right at that situation, McLean Mannix looked like he was held as he was trying to make his break to that out route.
Interference. Defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic down.
DeDarlo blew the guilty party.
Yeah, you can tell it definitely was a spot that the ball was going. That's where Mannix was going, but he got held up. So good call. They caught it. Now this keeps this drive going. They have to continue to put the pressure on. But I'd like to see the ball deep to Demps. I just haven't seen it. You got a 2-deep look back there. They got to spread this out a little more, and I really want to see Ganji run with the ball. He hasn't done that at all this first half. Maybe they're waiting to use it on the second half, but I think that's going to open up the run game for him.
Fresh set of downs from the 45. Ganji off the play fake. There he goes, taking off with the football. Ganji has a first down inside the 45. Jay, you wanted it, you got it. And a good run by number 6. Picks up 10 yards.
And what that does, it makes those defensive ends, the outside linebackers, have to play honest. Now they can't come crashing down on the inside when they're trying to do the inside run play. You do that, you force them to be honest. Now that should help Kincaid and Moore run more up the middle. But you can see by doing that, those ends were just crashing because he wasn't pressing outside. Now the outside gets pressed, it's going to make him play honest.
Looking to throw now. He's hit as he delivers downfield, incomplete. Looking for Demps down the seam. Coverage applied by Justin Clark. He almost came up with it.
Sure did. Great play by Justin Clark coming over the top. I know a lot of people wanted a pass interference call, but that was just perfect timing. The Toledo defensive backs have not really given much space to the receivers. So the receivers have to do a better job of creating some separation to help the quarterback out. But this Toledo secondary has done a great job running with the Nevada receivers.
Nevada has a couple timeouts to work with. 2:40 on the clock here before halftime. 2nd and 10. Handed off to Kelton Moore. And a yard, and that's it, down to the 44-yard line. This is a Nevada team that will throw a lot of different formations out there in this air raid attack. Simplicity of the play calls, but we've seen a little bit of everything out there in terms of where they line up.
Oh, yeah. They want to get the defense. They're trying to get the numbers in the box. And what that means is if they can get you to have 5 men in the box, they feel they can win that game. If you add more men in the box, then they're going to throw it to the outside. So they try to do that by formation to get you tricked into what they want to do.
3rd and 9. Backside pressure. Ganji. Demps has it at the 35, close to the stick. Looks like it is good enough for a first down. 10-yard pickup, and they move the chains.
And if you watch what Demps did, he caught that ball away from his body with his hands. So the defensive back did not have an opportunity to come in there and strip that ball away. Great route, great throw, great catch.
Under 2 minutes to go now. Impressive drive put together here by the Wolfpack. Ganji has plenty of time. Now he rolls left and he has room to run. 30 and out of bounds. Showing off his ability in the open field.
And that's what he needs to do. I would have loved to see him run down that pipe because the middle of the field was wide open. But that's what you have to do. Ganji can't give them much time. These corners for Toledo have shown that they can cover well. They can stick with the receivers. I mean, think about it. Who they have to practice against every day, so they know how to cover. So as a quarterback, you need to run a little more so the defense will have to change their scheme.
7-yard pickup. Kincaid to his right. Some movement up front and a couple Rockets jumped, I think, here, including Adaney, the right end.
Yeah, as a defender.
24, defense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Justin,
they got Clark as well.
Yeah, Justin Clark tried to lurch at the receiver. As a defensive back, you're not allowed to do that. And defense front, so watch at the bottom of your screen. You see that right there? Not allowed to do that, and he did that before the ball was snapped. That definitely is going to get called, timeout, as well as the right defensive end.
That's your 2nd timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Timeout taken by Toledo here, leading by 17. It's a Toledo defense, very inconsistent last year. It was a strange year. They kept 6 opponents under 21 points, but in their 4 losses, a couple of those, they allowed 55 points each. Yeah. And so they're hoping for more consistency this season.
And what we're seeing tonight is some consistency because they've been good enough to keep Nevada out when Nevada has been in position to get in, but other times Nevada has shot themselves in the foot and missed opportunities that they could have scored. I think secondary-wise, when you have to practice against Cody Thompson and Javon Johnson, Deontay Johnson, these guys are tested. So for Nevada and their passing game, especially being new, these guys have to find seams. They have to find ways to get themselves open to help Ganji.
2nd and 3. Kincaid behind Ganji. Play fake, deflected and incomplete. Mannix was the intended receiver. They have looked to the freshman a lot here, but Ganji hasn't been able to hook up with him very often. Blue on the coverage.
Right. Toledo's doing a good job of stuffing those inside lanes, guys getting their hands up if they can't get to the quarterback. And Ganji isn't like 6'5", he's 6'2", so it isn't like he can see over and throw down. He's looking for those windows to release the ball.
2nd and 10. Nevada has the 2 timeouts left. Demps in motion. They set up the screen. Caught by Henley, and he's inside the 20 for a pickup of 4. Dayon Henley, a freshman from Los Angeles. Tyler Tafe on the tackle.
Yeah, and Jordan Williams, the strong safety, did a good job of running up there, not giving him an opportunity to get things going because he made him have to make a move right away, which allowed the rest of his teammates to come in and finish that tackle off.
First trip to the red zone for the Wolfpack as we near the 1-minute mark, a 3rd down and 6. Armstrong will loop in motion. Ganji, near side, open, Henley, touchdown Nevada.
What a release by Henley. He beat Justin Clark on an outside release. He gets him on the outside release. Now Ganji just has to put the ball up, give this guy an opportunity, run in there, throws it a little bit behind, but because he beat him so badly on that press technique, because they were all alone. It was single safety in the middle, which means corners on the outside. Free safety probably won't get over to help you. He's going to help the slots. Justin Clark gets beat. Nevada gets their first touchdown, getting into the red zone for the first time.
First career touchdown for the true freshman from Los Angeles. The extra point from Pettit is through there, and it's a 20-10 game. Great response from the Wolfpack. 13 plays, 75 yards.
And it's what they needed to get back. When you think about that interception not being an interception, you can see how much space he has. He beats Justin Clark right off the press. And as a corner, when you're by yourself and you get beat within the first couple steps, forget it. You're going to see this clip on SportsCenter because that's what happens. The touchdown in the end zone. Great job by Dayon Henley, getting to the spot to allow his quarterback some success. This is what this offense needed. They picked up the tempo. They had a couple penalties that kept the drive going, but that's what they needed. They needed points because the big thing, Toledo has not capitalized every time they've been in the red zone. If Nevada can make the most out of that, they'll find themselves back in this game.
Well, remember, this is the first year for Coach Jay Norvell. 42 new players. 7 made their first career starts last week against Northwestern. Here's a new guy, a true freshman, that will be a big part, you think, for the future for the Pack.
6'1", 205 freshman. You think about that. You add him in with Wyatt Dempsey, what he's doing is 6'4", 200. Justin Brent is 6'2", 200. Brandon O'Leary Orange is 6'4", 210. You got some size. You got some movement. You got some guys that can create some mismatches. Now they just have to do it on a consistent basis.
Conaway with the kick, a short kick, and it's fielded by McKinley Lewis, and he goes down at the 23-yard line. 52 seconds to work with. Toledo has just 1 timeout left. And they have to be pleased being up 10, but you just get the sense that Woodside is a lot more packed in his arsenal, the way he can throw the football.
He does, and you know, they've kept him not so consistent as he's been in the past. Good quarterbacks don't stay that way for long. As a defense, you have to realize and understand it and make the most of every opportunity you can. This is a situation where if I'm Toledo, yeah, I'm taking a few shots. I'm going to try to work this down. If it isn't there, I'm going to run the clock out. I get the ball first in the second half.
Let's see if they play close to the vest or do take a couple shots. They're going to run it. It's Swanson off the left side, and he's shut down right at the line of scrimmage. And I think they're going to be content with a lead here.
Timeout, Nevada. That's their second timeout of the half. So it'll be a 30-second timeout.
So Jay Norvell's team using one, and they have 1 remaining.
And a lot of people may say, well, why do that? Why are you doing that? You want to give yourself a chance. So if you can actually force, if they're not going to push the envelope, and you force it to where they have to punt, see what your special teams can do. Can you block a punt? Can they return it back? These are the little things that you think about when you're a new coach.
And I'm sure there are other coaches that'll say, well, why give Toledo a chance to go downfield here? We'll see what the Rockets opt to do here, if they just make them burn that final timeout or maybe rethink things, what they want to do offensively.
And this will be the telltale sign if it's a pass or a run. If it's a pass and it's incomplete, that was a good timeout call by Nevada.
It's Gilliam in motion. They will run it. It's going to be Swanson off the left side. He breaks free, and he almost busted that one. Tripped up and goes down at the 30-yard line. And Nevada will use their final timeout. Patrick Chowda gets credit for that tackle.
Nevada, that's their 3rd timeout of the half. Be a 30-second timeout.
Now, you got to make the coach a genius. That also means you have to come up and tackle. So, you know, that's what happened on that play. They did not keep the contain. We've seen that a few times in the game. It's not happened as much as it did last week against Northwestern, where they had several missed guys missing spots. But still, this is a problem that has to get itself worked out. There's a lot of fodder here that come into the second half. I want to see what type of adjustments both these coaches are going to make, because you have to look at Toledo. They have to be scratching their head. You have a very high-powered offense. You average over 518 yards a game last year. You're being held by a team that struggled defensively last year.
179 so far.
So, you know, so there's going to be some serious adjustments at halftime.
3rd and 3. They do have 110 yards on the ground in this first half. Woodside's going to change it up at the line of scrimmage here. Handoff, Swanson. Across the 30, does not get to the stick. So 4th down coming up. Nevada does not have any timeouts remaining, and they'll run this clock down. Paulus and Rush combine on that stop.
See, that's the hard part. If they were able to get the stop beforehand, then they may have ended up some time. But we'll see. You got 26 seconds.
Austin Paulus is injured here after that run. So important to this defense, a strong side linebacker, senior from Granite Bay, California.
And that's a guy they can't afford to lose right now. You're already short Asani Rufus and Ruffus, sorry. And to lose another guy of this caliber.
Since the clock was running and was stopped for a defensive injury, there will be a 10-second runoff. Please set the clock to 16 seconds and start it on my signal. Thank you.
So this is a player that you can't afford to lose, because now you're going to lose 2 of your elder statesmen, guys that were here before, that understand, that bring that attitude, that bring that tenacity, especially the way this defense is playing.
Yeah.
You need all hands on deck.
Let's hope he's okay. Now with that runoff, we'll be at 16 seconds, and he's going to start the clock here. And they will not have to snap the football, and we will reach halftime. 20-10 game. We thought it'd be entertaining. It has been. Great answer from Nevada, though, on the last drive to get within 10.
Sure was. And both these coaches have a lot of stuff
first half.
they're going to go inside and talk about. It's all about the adjustments. And I want to see what adjustments going to make, because Toledo has been held under grips. This high-powered offense has not been able to do anything. The only reason they've been successful is because of short field. So if I'm Nevada and I go in, I say, listen, we're only down by 10 points, and technically we could be leading this game.
Home opener here for Nevada. Toledo doing the job on the ground. The Nevada defense has done a nice job hanging in there. 10-point game at the break. The Rockets and the Wolfpack here in Reno, Nevada. Halftime coming up.
Catch the MLS action tomorrow on ESPN2. It's Atlanta United versus LA Galaxy at 7 Eastern.
Chris, what is an NFL insider? Is there something you get when you go inside, or a secret club out there?
Well, you have to do the initiation. Can't go into quite detail. It's kind of like those secret societies. You got some initiations that you go through, put into an NFL insider camp.
Really? That's terrific.
If I told you, it wouldn't be a secret. For me to try to elaborate on it with you right now, I'd actually be
all the time we have. I appreciate that. Thank you for that insight. I'm sure the viewers are on the edge of their seats.
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
We are at halftime here in Reno, and as we take a break from the action, we take a look back at the sights and sounds of Week 1 of college football.
USC has a blind snapper, and his name is Jake Olson. Olson has been blind since he was 12 years old.
How about this for an inspirational moment? He is out there snapping. And a good snap from Jake.
I want to say I'm a Trojan and have a snap under my belt in the Coliseum. I mean, is there anything more special?
Oh, we know you are ready for it. One of the great opening games in the history of college football. Ridley's running free. He's got a touchdown. Tied.
Look at this. How about a sack, fumble, score? Gets away from the defender, looking downfield, letting it fly. And it's pulled in for the touchdown. Saquon, say gone.
Lamar Jackson, this guy's impressive. This guy is hell-bent for election.
Mayfield floats it. Calcaterra, touchdown.
If we all thought that we were going to come in here and sprinkle some fairy dust on this team, we're wrong.
That's why college football is so special. You see stuff every game that you've never seen before.
Liberty with a shocker in Waco.
UNLV was a whopping 45.5-point favorite. Howard pulling off the unthinkable.
This kid is special.
Over the middle. Touchdown Bruins.
Josh Rosen under pressure. Throws.
Caught in the end zone. Touchdown.
Rosen, back pylon. Caught. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
We don't want some of the games. We want all the live games with DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. We don't just want some Dak Prescott. We want all the Dak Prescott.
Switch to DirecTV and get every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Report.
20-10, our halftime score in Reno, Nevada. The MAC against the Mountain West. Toledo and Nevada locked up in a good one here at Mackey Stadium. Well, heading into this matchup, air raid versus spread. We talked about how the big numbers would be put on the board, but the defensives have had their say, and the running game has been a factor. We've seen a little bit of something we didn't expect here in the first half.
Completely. I think the defense on both sides has stood up and said, hey, you know what? We know what the offenses can do, but we're not going to be taken advantage of that way, which is kudos on both sides. But you think about Toledo, I think the frustration is more on their end because they've been here and done that. The fact that they can't get things going, and the only success they've had is because of the short-sided field. When they've had to go the distance, they've not been able to do it. And if I'm Nevada, I'm going to the locker room and saying, listen, with everything that's happened, we still have a chance in this. Our offense hasn't got clicking. When we did get clicking, we capitalized in the end zone, in the red zone. So as an offense, we just need to do more because our defense is out there keeping us in this game.
And the Rockets have taken advantage of a short field, and that's how they scored their first touchdown. Woodside to Johnson on a pass.
Yeah, and you can see that was just poor angle coming in there by the defensive back, Crumby, but he tried to make up for it later in the game. And then right here you see Swanson getting the end zone with his run. Great job of when they capitalized, they got inside the fight, they made the score. But here's the big thing. Ganji get this ball out to Henley. When he gets that score, that keeps him back in it. And that's a situation that they just need more of. And I think that they can do that in the second half.
Well, we look at the first half numbers. You see the rushing total in favor of this Toledo team, but you're not going to keep Logan Woodside in check often. Let's remember he threw for 314 yards last year, and this team averaged over 500 a year ago.
And I think they'll be happy with that, though. If they can force where it's a running game like it is, it's a short field, it's taking a lot of reps to get that type of yardage, they can live with that because they know if they allow the quarterback to start throwing the ball, that could be an adverse effect, especially losing their safety in Rufus early in the game. So I think this is a situation where Nevada can take advantage of it, but we have to see what Toledo does when they're on their adjustments.
An intriguing matchup here in Reno, Toledo and Nevada. 10-point break game at the break here. We're back with more halftime after this.
When I grow up, I want to plant a garden for the whole world. There'll be flowers, vegetables, fruit, and even lima beans.
We all grow up, but I didn't give up on dreaming big. Here at Coke, my team and I push each other to find new natural ways to feed a growing world. You know, it's a serious challenge, but I've been preparing my whole life.
Land Rover, above and beyond.
Welcome back to the Capital One Halftime Report.
Let's take a look at this play that may have an impact on your Capital One fan vote. Alabama against Florida State. The Tide defense stepping up against DeAndre Francois. An interception right here. They were tough at the point of attack, getting a sack. Also picking off Florida State and getting pressure on him. Don't forget to go to ESPN.com or the Sports Center Facebook page on Tuesday to give your Capital One fan vote.
It's true, fans are craving Dr. Pepper more than ever, so I've assembled a team. They're not exactly 5 stars, but they've got spirit. We'll be at tailgate, the cheap seats, love seats. If you're craving Dr. Pepper, we'll be there. We'll be everywhere! And yes, we are taking walk-ons.
I'm in.
Doug Flutie? Flutie's in! Let's go, Dr. Pepper, hip! Here's a boys' medium.
That'll work.
Go long. Did you hear DirecTV's latest deal? It's cheap and gets you all the big games.
No! Yeah, it starts at $60, but will cost you $3,500 over 2 years.
Don't get caught off guard by DirecTV. Get the best with Xfinity.
Larry, you got to get those burgers off the grill.
Doug Flutie? Who threw the Hail Larry?
You mean a Hail Mary?
Tomato, potato, man.
Those are 2 different words.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper, hip! Let's go!
Let's take a look at today's campus moment brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Great fans here. Home opener for the Nevada Wolfpack, and they like what they saw at the end of the first half. A touchdown drive for the Pack, trying to get a victory after losing in their opener at Northwestern. And at high altitude here, it is a tough environment for any opponent. Thank you for watching the Capital One Halftime Report. Ready for the second half now. It was a 20-3 Toledo lead, but then a 13-play, 75-yard drive for Nevada. Ganji to Henley on a touchdown pass to make it 20-10. And Nevada has some momentum here, though Toledo does have the football to open up this third quarter.
Well, and the thing, we talked about at halftime, Toledo has not went the distance of the field. Everything that they've done capitalized has been on the short field. So if I'm Nevada, I'd come out and say, we forced them to go 3 and out, even 6 and out. We have an advantage that way because they haven't went the length of the field. If I'm Toledo, I'm coming out saying we need a long drive here. We have not put together a long drive. Their defense has pretty much stifled us in the way we like to play our game. So I can see them trying to put together a game plan. And don't be surprised if they take a shot deep early in the series.
This is Ramiz Ahmed, the new kickoff specialist for Nevada. To open up this second half, we saw Quentin Conaway, the punter, doubling as a kickoff specialist, but number 26 getting opportunity here for Nevada. 1 half in the books, and we're underway here in the third. And a booming kick, a beauty by Ramiz. That will not be returned. It'll be a touchback at the 25-yard line for this Toledo club. Logan Woodside, 6 of 13, 69 yards, and that is shocking in itself. This is a guy that we saw his numbers. He put up amazing numbers through the air a year ago.
He did. I mean, 69.1% for the season. That's great numbers. A couple of times he was in the 70s. Last week's game against Elon, I think he was only 61, almost 62%. So a little rust there. He didn't play the whole game, but what we're seeing right now is still a whole lot more rust because he hasn't had a chance to get any type of flow.
He led the MAC, 318 yards passing per game a year ago. First series starting from the 25-yard line. And they'll run it with Swanson, who has been the meal ticket, breaks a tackle across the 30, and he picks up 8 yards to the 33-yard line. Sakona and Baber combine on the stop. How about this guy? 79 yards on the ground on 19 carries.
He's been the bread and butter. That's what's kept this offense, using that short field, and he's just been running the ball, keeping them on the lead.
They give it to Swanson again. He has a first down across the 40. Before he's knocked down by Damian Baber. 8-yard pickup for Swanson.
Brent Weiss did a good job, almost a tackle for a loss, but he stayed engaged with the defensive end and allowed that run.
Swanson had 112 yards against Bowling Green a year ago. He rushed for 583, second on the team to Kareem Hunt, now with the Kansas City Chiefs.
His earlier run, Nevada had an opportunity to tackle him in the backfield, but you can see he's determined to carry this team right now.
And they give it to Swanson again off the left side, and he's up to the 46-yard line, 5 more yards. If he can't stop it, if he's getting 4 or 5 a pop, why put it in the air?
And stick with it, because when you run and you're able to run effectively, then that does open the passing game. Right now, what we've seen from Nevada coming out, they're coming out a bit flat. They're not coming out with the fire they had in that first half, because they would give up a couple runs, but then they were able to start to shut it down. We'll see if they do that, or they need to start playing once they cross the 50 again.
It's 2nd and 5 from the 46-yard line. Woodside looking to put it in the air. This time he's hit as he throws, caught by Swanson. Makes a man miss, and he's up to the 49-yard line. And there is a Nevada player down near the line of scrimmage.
See, here's the situation again. Jaden Sawyer, I believe that was, had the opportunity to tackle him in the backfield. And this is what Coach Castile, defense coordinator, said. Watch the top of your screen. They get that pressure there, he gets the hit. Now, here's where the tackle should have happened. For a loss right there. But that's great running by Swanson to get the extra yardage. But that's been the problem with the defense, especially last week, like they said, is guys taking the right angles and getting in there and then wrapping up, not getting that bonus yardage.
Lawson Hall putting the hit on the quarterback. Patrick Chowda shaken up. And a big 3rd and 2 coming up for the Rockets from their 49-yard line. 2 of 7 for the game on 3rd downs. Toledo.
That's an incredible number to think about when you think about how hard this offense is.
Yeah, they were 5th in the NCAA in 3rd down conversions a year ago. And you see the numbers so far in this one. In motion, Thompson. Handoff, Tompkins, and he has a 1st down inside the 49-yard line on the Nevada side of the field.
He's more the slasher of the two a bit. You can see right there, little David Johnson-esque, getting one way, hitting that foot down, cutting back, and he's 5'8", 180, so he kind of hides behind that big offensive line when he gets the ball, especially in short yardage situations.
A 3-star ESPN prospect out of Pittsburgh, sophomore. He led him at 8 yards per carry last year in a limited time behind Hunt and Swanson.
Like to see Nevada dial up a little blitz pressure right now. You got to get some tackles for loss here. Help your defense out.
They're sending 4. Woodside steps up in the pocket trying to run it. It closes on him. And they corral him after a 1-yard gain to the 48-yard line. Jerry's McDade and Corey Rush did a good job closing things down.
They sure did. And the way they run their scheme, it's like a 4-3 with Jaden Sawyer kind of has the spur moving around. So it's always a 3-man front. You're not sure where that 4th man is coming. They did a great job disguising that 4th man, coming up, bringing the pressure, allowing Jerry McDade and those guys to close in on him when he had to, Woodside had to use his legs to get away from trouble.
2nd and 9 now. No sacks in the first half. It's been all about the running game. On 2nd and 9, Tompkins straight ahead. And he's to the 45. 3rd and 5 coming up. McDade again on the stop. McDade at 310. His dad, Wayne, played football at Boise State. And he's tough to move around, number 78.
He is, and he was kind of shifty how he made that play, because he went around the left guard or center left and then dove back to make that tackle. So the guy has a little bit of movement skills there for his size.
Well, passing down here, 3rd and 6 for Toledo. They need to get the football to the 39.
Looks like there might be...
Flag is thrown.
Delay a game, maybe? Or 2 men on the field.
It's a back judge.
Substitution infraction on the defense. 12 men in the formation. 5-yard penalty.
Boy, that really helps out Toledo. Now it's a 3rd and 1.
And see, now here's the tough part. These are the mental mistakes. So they had the mental mistakes in the first half that had cost them. So here's another costly penalty at the wrong time. So instead of 3rd, 6 to 7, now it's 3rd and 1. And these are the situations with a young team that you have to learn not to make those type of mistakes.
Now you can go back to running the football here. You've got some options.
If I'm Nevada, I come with a blitz, A-gap blitz, because you know that's where the run's coming.
Woodside to Tompkins, has a first down, cuts it back inside the 35, puts his head down, and a first down to the 31. Damian Baber on the tackle. You mentioned he's a slasher. He did a great job changing direction there.
He did. He was starting towards that A gap, but they did not keep their contain. The defensive end came crashing down. He had the vision to bounce outside, but I think he injured his arm on that play. But you can see it gets crashed down right there, and Patrick Chada loses his contain, and then that's what happens.
Good cut back there to get them the first down at the 31-yard line. Three receivers to the right, rolling right. Woodside pump fake, downfield, has a man open. It's caught by Thompson, spins inside the 10, and he's down to the 4-yard line. Lucas Weber on the tackle, and you can see why Thompson is so good. He is nifty in the open field. There is a flag in the backfield, though, on the offense.
I think they might have got
personal foul. Rough pass. Defense.
It was Gabe Sewell roughing the quarterback. They'll tack that on.
So that makes it tough, even if they're able to make the play to get off the field. But you can see right here, watch he come in, and yeah, you got to know that you're too far away. You got to pull up at that point. You're never going to get there. You can see right here, the ball's already out. So he should have pulled up. That's just another penalty that should not have happened. Those are mental mistakes.
Half the distance. They mark it now at the 3-yard line. They're just outside the 2, between the 2 and the 3. As we hit the 10-minute mark, they'll hand it off to Swanson. Hit initially, keeps his legs churning, driving towards the goal line. He's not in. It'll be inside the 1.
I'm not sure if that was Jaden Sawyer, but he missed at first and then jumped in and then back. These are the things that the little things make all the difference. And that's what he told us on his call. Coach LeBron said, the little things, the guys got to pay attention, the wrapping up, the tackle for losses. Because they talked about, we're seeing it with our own eyes. They've been in the backfield a lot. They just haven't capitalized. But that's also in Toledo. They have good guys who run with the ball after they get it in their hands.
On 2nd and goal, it's Swanson straight ahead, and he is pushed backwards. Nothing doing there. Lucas Weber was in the middle of things. He's in for Paulus at that strong side linebacker spot. Got some help from Jordan Silva.
Just look at these guys pile up that middle part. Good charge. They've won that battle right there. You're seeing they're playing on Toledo's side of the ball. And when you can do that as a defensive front, this is what happens. You stuff that run.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. 18. Deep. Goal, automatic first down.
Personal foul against Nevada.
I'm not even sure where or how that would have happened. That had to have been one of those testy plays on the outside.
It's Moody.
Something between two guys. Nevada has not gotten any breaks on any calls in this game.
Elijah Moody, the guilty party, and that means it's now a 1st and goal. Just outside the 1. Both teams heavily penalized so far in this one. Swanson straight ahead. Is he in? No indication yet. Just shy of the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal. Reed and Sawyer bottle him up there. Well, what a game, though, for Swanson. 93 yards on the ground on 23 carries.
I mean, he's grinding. This is what they needed, and you got to win ugly sometimes, and grinding it out with your running back.
Swanson again, and he is turned back short of the goal line.
And this is...
No, he's in. There's it. The late touchdown call from the side judge coming over. Touchdown, Toledo.
This is always the tough part when you run these types of offenses. When you don't line up underneath the center, that gives the defense an opportunity to try to stop the runner. Sometimes I love how these offenses do, but I wish they would just go under center for these type of situations, make it a little bit simpler. But you're going to see, as he gets the ball, the defense has a chance, but right there, he's just driving his legs. He carried him down the field to that point, and it's just beneficial that he gets the touchdown.
It's a couple touchdown runs for Terry Swanson. Doak Walker Award candidate, senior from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, has been the star. 25 carries, 94 yards, and it's 26-10 Rockets.
And that's the drive that Toledo needed. Now, they had some assistance on some penalties, some mental mistakes, but they had not put together an 80-plus yard drive this entire game. So this offense being able to do that is a plus to help them going into the rest of this quarter. But let's see what Nevada's able to do offensively when they come out.
And Vest stays perfect on extra points this season, extending the lead to 27-10. 13 plays, 75 yards, and a 17-point lead for the Rockets. Swanson, a couple touchdown runs for the visitors.
Go long. Just kidding. Did you hear DirecTV's latest deal? It's cheap and gets you all the big games.
It starts at $60 a month, but jumps to over $100 after 3 months.
Cool. I think.
And jumps again to over $150 after a year. And ends up costing over $3,500 over 2 years.
You're cleaning that up.
Don't get caught off guard by DirecTV.
Touchdown.
Get the best with Xfinity.
Yo, Miss Mitchell, your boy just won the Super Bowl.
Dominate from day one and win it all with the new arcade playstyle. Madden NFL 18, rated E for everyone.
Get the ultimate experience on Xbox One.
37-year-old Jason Candle has been a big part of this success, sustained success for the Toledo Rockets. Look at what they've done. He was 7 years an assistant coach, now in his second season, coming off a bowl victory a year ago. You know they're going to be in the conversation for a bowl every year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about it. He's been part of the program. He was offense coordinator. He worked his way up from receivers coach, tight ends coach. He understands these guys. They understand him. And so the continuity, you can tell by the record, has stayed consistent in Toledo.
9 wins, 5 of the last 6 years. Boshan Crumby on the return for Nevada. Good change of direction, and he's up to the 25-yard line. This Toledo program, the 100th anniversary for their program. 7 straight winning seasons, and looking really good on the road here. That was the first kickoff return we've had today, coming here in the third quarter.
Well, you think about it. There's been a couple onside, couple of little pooch kicks, but for the most part, both these kickers have put it into the end zone so that there hasn't been an opportunity for a return. So to be able to get that, at least get a little bit more positive yards, that's good for Nevada offense.
Aaron Covington on that special teams tackle. First down from the 25-yard line for the Wolfpack. Some work to do here. Ganji on the play fake, going downfield, looking for depths, and it is knocked down, almost intercepted. Kadar Holman played that really well, the junior corner, and there is a flag on the field.
Kadar Holman did what you're supposed to do, keeping that receiver on the back shoulder. The question is, was there any contact before the ball went up? You can see right there, and he goes to the highest point. Ball comes out as he tries to come down, so I'm curious to see if they're going to say incidental contact, just let it go, or call pass interference on receiver or DB. You never know that.
He has a right to the ball just like the wide receiver does.
He surely does, and he walled him off. It's just a matter of how they're feeling walled
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's what they're saying. So even though he said he felt he turned and he was running with the guy, the way that he walled him off before the ball got there, and you can see his confusion. Because as a corner, that's what you're taught. Will your head, make that receiver have to run up your back. So, because you do have a right to the space. So, Dimps, with his hops, I thought he would have been able to get over him a little bit better, but he couldn't.
At 6'4" as well. And that may be the boost that Nevada needs to get their offense jump-started here. They had a good drive to end the first half. Went 75 yards for a touchdown. Now they have first down from the 40. Ganji throws it away, and not on the same page with Demps there. He wasn't looking for the football
at all. That's just complete miscommunication. And I'm watching as Ganji releases the ball. This is it seems a bit hesitant sometimes, like he's not stepping into it like he should. He's not confident that's where he needs to go sometimes. But that was complete miscommunication because Demps was blocking. He expected a run.
We'll go 3 receivers to the right of the formation, showing blitz Toledo, and they're coming. Ganji throws it away. Had to release it quickly. In the vicinity was Maddox. It's now third down.
So this is where the growth of the offense, when it's new, this is where they have to learn, because as we're seeing the miscommunication. We're seeing when they do hit, it's working, but when they're off, it's way off. And so that's what happens when you live fire and you're playing against these tough teams. Guys have to learn where they're supposed to be when the ball's going to be thrown.
3rd and 10 now. Toledo bringing 5 on the pressure. Underneath, catch made by Mannix, and he's close to the first down. Tackled at the 49 by Justin Clark. Good checkoff there. Now do they go for it on 4th down?
And they should. This is where you run to the line of scrimmage quickly. Put the panic into the defense. Use the hard count, which worked well for you in the first quarter. I mean, you got a couple false jumped offsides and everything else. Try a hard count, whatever you need to do, but go quicker to put this defense on its heels.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 1 here, midway through this 3rd quarter, and now timeout is called. Wolfpack will think it over here.
They may not like what they saw in the defense as they went with the motion.
For the half, this will be a full timeout.
27-10 Toledo, 4th and 1 upcoming for Nevada, just shy of midfield here in Reno.
Go long. Just kidding. Did you hear DirecTV's latest deal? It's cheap and gets you all the big games.
It starts at $60 a month, but jumps to over $100 after 3 months.
Cool, I think.
And jumps again to over $150 after a year. And ends up costing over $3,500 over 2 years.
You're cleaning that up.
Don't get caught off guard by DirecTV.
Touchdown.
Get the best with Xfinity.
Major players get the papers by the layers. It ain't no shame in our game. We do our thing, Ghetto wise guys. We do our thing.
27-10 lead for Toledo. 4th and 1 for Nevada after the timeout, and they're going to go for it just shy of their own 49-yard line, trailing by 17. 0 for 1 so far on 4th downs. Demps in motion. Ganji rolling, setting up the screen, caught by Kincaid, and he has a first down to the Rocket side of the field. Their first 4th down conversion since last season against Utah State. Daney on the stop.
I like the play call, and I like even more Kincaid using his speed. Watch him set this up. He knows he has to get it. He sets it up just to give himself just enough space to get that first down. Good conversion.
Well, they needed to have it. Hoping the game doesn't get away from him. Ganji downfield, incomplete. Mannix in the area, and a couple Rockets with 2 penalty flags as a helmet comes off of one of the offensive linemen.
Well, and if you look at that throw, you can see what I'm talking about in his release. That was just kind of like not confident.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Number 92 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. The offensive player does not have to leave the game.
Daniel Davis ripping the helmet off of Palomares, the left guard.
Yeah, and so these penalties that were going against Nevada in the first half, and especially into that scoring drive, what happened during that part, now they're working for them a little bit. Toledo is not now having the mental mistakes and doing the things that they shouldn't be doing with the type of lead that they had right now.
Nevada nearing the red zone now at the Toledo 32. Here comes pressure again. Ganji going for Demps. He's got it inside the 5 and knocked down at the 1-yard line.
Excellent play call. They saw they had single free safety. The strong safety, Jordan Williams, is coming down. What does he do? He looks the safety off. Demps beats his guy on the release. He beats Kadar Holman, catches it at the highest point. If that ball was just a step further, he might be walking the end zone for a touchdown.
32-yard pickup, knocking on the door. It's a keeper from Ganji. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
That is the play that they needed. Capitalize on getting a big completion, followed up by getting the end zone, and look at Ganji. He uses the pressure. It would have been a tackle for loss. He saw that the end came in. He held onto the ball. That's what they need to do more. I think if he pulls that ball down more, forces those ends not to crash so hard, that will open up the lanes for Kincaid and more. But great execution, great answer to the touchdown that Toledo went down and put up.
Nevada's first rushing touchdown this season. Pettit for the extra point. And it's a 10-point game again. 27-17. 6 plays, 75 yards. They've had a couple 75-yard touchdown drives now. and showing some confidence now with their offense.
And that's the thing about it. When they've gotten the ball, they've been able to do good things when they got the time and the momentum. And this is what they did to see if the defense can come out and help them get a 3 and out and get the ball back.
Go long. Just kidding. Did you hear DirecTV's latest deal? It's cheap and gets you all the big games.
It starts at $60 a month, but jumps to over 100 after 3 months.
Cool. I think.
And jumps again to over 150 after a year. And ends up costing over $3,500 over 2 years.
You're cleaning that up.
Don't get caught off guard by DirecTV.
Touchdown.
Get the best with Xfinity.
We make the players get the papers by the layers. There ain't no shame in our game. We do our thing. Ghetto wise guys. We do our thing.
Ty Ganji's 4th career rushing touchdown draws the Wolfpack within 10 of Toledo. Ganji rushed for 99 yards at UNLV last year. A guy that's a dual threat and was really in a spirited battle with David Cornwell, the Alabama transfer, to win the quarterback job this year.
Yeah, and you think about his intangibles with what he can do with his legs. You like to see he's been pretty accurate, floating the ball a little bit. Guys have dropped the ball, but what you want out of him, especially in the system, he's able to do. It's just a matter of executing it. And I think that's where the growth is going to come in with this new system, as guys continually understand where they're supposed to be.
Ahmed's kick will not be returned. A touchback. He'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. And Ganji, a kid that came in for the injured Tyler Stewart, who suffered a season-ending injury a year ago. And that helps you getting the starting experience leading into this year. That second year, as you know, is a big year.
And he's been in tough games. There was a game we did last year where Utah State, a double overtime, single, it was great. He brought him back in it. He used his legs. He ran in the end zone for the winning score. So he knows how to come back.
Austin Paulus is back on the field for Nevada. That's a good sign after he was shaken up in the first half. Woodside and company from the 25. Logan looking to throw it down the seam. Caught by the tight end Fisher. First down up to midfield. Damian Baber on the tackle, 25-yard pickup.
That play worked because of what Terry Swanson's been able to do in the running game. Fake it to run, pull everybody in, dip it right over because those linebackers were cheating up. Get that easy play right there for Jordan Fisher for a nice game.
Fisher's first catch as a Rocket in his career, the sophomore from Leesburg, Virginia.
And this is why when you're saying they keep running the ball, this is why they kept running the ball, to open up the pass.
Shaquille Seymour now in at the running back spot. He gets the carry. Strong running straight ahead down to the 42, 7-yard pickup. Here's a 218-pound redshirt freshman who had 102 yards in their week 1 victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about a big kid and strong and powerful with those legs. As you just saw right there, it gives him a special dynamic to the run game.
Out of Cleveland, an Ohio kid, sets him up 2nd and 3. Look at the rushing yardage. Toledo has really done the job on the ground. They go end around this time. And not able to turn the corner is Desmond Phillips. Great job by Nevada stringing it out. Jaden Sawyer was there. Loss on the play.
And that's what you want out of your defense. You want to stretch these runs, make them go east and west, not north and south. And guys stayed in their lane, forcing the runner nowhere to go. Now you're in 3rd and short, which leads for Toledo. They have the advantage because 3rd and short, they can run, they can pass, they can do a lot of things. And so Nevada has to see what they can do to get it off field. But look at the top of the screen. You might see it ball into the flat.
Thompson, their #1 target, top of the screen as they send Phillips in motion. Rolling right, Woodside. Sets and fires it low, and it's caught. Catch made by Thompson, and that'll move the sticks.
And there's a reason he's an All-American prospect and what he's done. He knew his quarterback, where he was going. He sat down in the zone, and the quarterback knew where he was going as the defense continued to over-pursue. It got the ball to him. This is the difference between understanding the offensive scheme and everybody knowing where they're supposed to be.
Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Toledo with 286 total yards. Woodside to the sideline. Catch made by Deontay Johnson, makes a man miss. And he's close to the first down, knocked down at the 29 by Lucas Weber. A little bit short, 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, and you got to think Daniel Brown comes in. This is what we're talking about, having to wrap up. You read it, you see it, keep your head up, wrap up. These receivers are good with the yaks. They get that ball, they break some tackles, and they pick up yardage in a hurry.
He has some good size to be able to break those tackles. 2nd down and 2 now. Make it a long one at the 29-yard line. It's going to be Seymour. Bounces to the outside, has a first down, and he's inside the 20-yard line. A flag is down.
Yeah, I think that would be holding one. When I see an offensive lineman laying on the chest of a defensive lineman, chances are there might be a slight hold there.
Personal foul, face mask, number 30 of the defense. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Oh, that's a costly one on Lawson Hall, the redshirt freshman Mike linebacker.
Oh, we don't see it yet because that was Brent Weiss that was laying on Malik Reed, I believe. But that is a penalty that, again, is costing this team, this Nevada defense and offense. You can't give yourself costly penalties at the wrong time when you're having certain successes or you're able to stop a play. When you do something like that, it just compiles on it. The team is so young, it's tough for them to come back from these many penalties.
So it'll be a 1st and goal now.
So we're talking 8 penalties so far in this game for them.
3 receivers left. Woodside off the play fake. Fires it for Thompson. Touchdown, Toledo.
And here's the tough part. The penalty deflates the team, takes the air out, and then you're going to see a quick slant. Logan Woodside, you can't keep a good quarterback down. A nice stick move on the slant route. Corner just wasn't in the right position. You've seen as Damian Baber. As the safety, you got to take that inside away. That outside stick pulled him out, and then he was late driving in on that slant. Tough position, but when you have a quarterback like Woodside and a receiver like Cody Thompson in the slot, chances are that's going to end up being a touchdown.
You see Thompson doubling as a holder here for this vest extra point. Thompson's first touchdown catch this year. First touchdown pass of the game for Logan Woodside. And it's now 34-17. One of the most prolific offenses in college football a year ago, putting up big numbers again today. They did it on the ground in the first half. They're throwing it a little bit more here in the second half.
Yeah, sure, guys. See, simple play action just to pull the defense off, give himself a clean window to see the linebacker and safety pull over, and once they do that, it was a simple throw for him. That's a tough spot for Baber to try to come back in. You got to stay inside, but when you're going against a receiver like that, and that's a bang-bang, he's right there, but you're going against a talented guy that knows how to get that body position and a quarterback that knows the ball, where to put the ball so that it doesn't get intercepted, but only his guy catches it.
Jay, I mentioned this guy is a Blitnikoff and All-American candidate. He's also a Campbell Award candidate. That's the best combo of athletics, academics, and community service. He's a complete package and a guy that, you know, next level, look out for him.
Yeah, and that's what the guys look for. Guys that you don't have to worry about off the field, they won't give you off-field issues, but perform on the field. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, you look at it, you may think the numbers are pedestrian, but he wasn't involved in the very first part of the game. And usually when you're good receivers, it gets frustrating when you're not involved. But he just stayed patient, stayed true to form. The whole team did. And they just stuck with what Nevada was giving them. And now you see the difference as the game is starting to progress. They're able to get that passing attack going because they stuck with that run through that whole first half.
Crumbie has to take a knee, and Nevada starts at the 25-yard line. You knew that Woodside and Thompson would heat up. They're just too good to keep them down for too long. And that's now 6 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown for Cody Thompson.
Yeah, and just think about it. We haven't said much about the other guys. They've done some things. I mean, Deontay Johnson's got a touchdown. John Vay Johnson, we haven't really said much, but these are the type of receivers that they have and the pressure they can put on defense.
Just look at the numbers. The rushing total is what really has been a big advantage for Toledo in this one. Swanson with 94 on the ground. Ganji going downfield, got a man open, it's Mannix, and he's in the clear. The freshman's gonna take it to the house. Touchdown, Nevada. "75 yards for the touchdown."
Trevin Mathis gets beat on a simple little juke out and up route. And you can see Ty Ganji get that ball out in front. He was going to make sure his guy did not have to break down. He puts that ball right out in front of him. He has the defender beat. Trayvon Mathis can't keep up, and the rest is history. McLean, Lennox doing the rest, getting in. This is the tough part. They knew it'd be a shootout. They just didn't get the points early to keep themselves in it. Because if we're going to keep going back and forth, they have that advantage, but that's why they were going for it so early in the game.
Pettit's extra point makes it 34-24. Career-long catch for Mannix, career-long pass for Ganji. And here we go. We talked about how we'd see big numbers on the board. It's starting to show that here in the second half.
Both these offenses can strike quickly. And you can see Ty Ganji gets the ball out there. Mannix does a good job, and I take that back. He beat the safety, Ronnie Jones. So that's a tough position to put your safety, strong safety, out there on a receiver like that. That's a win every day. And not give it up for Ty Ganji, spotting that mismatch and getting that ball out quickly.
When Mannix, again, part of this bright future, a true freshman from Midland, Texas. His dad, Kevin, was part of the 1988 Permian, Texas high school team that was featured on Friday Night Lights. He knows his football.
And he does. ESPN's been showing that 30 for 30 on that, and that's a very interesting story about how it comes up with that game and what happened. But Dallas, you know, football is king down there. And basically, if you play for a high school team, like LaDainian Tomlin said, you just want to make the varsity. I mean, that's all you try to do.
You know, they love their football in Midland, and they're one of the hotbeds of football. And he chose chose Nevada over Air Force, Army, and Vandy. They're glad they have him. And this kickoff from Ahmed will not be returned, and Toledo will have to keep putting up some offensive numbers here because Nevada has heated up.
And that's the thing about it. Now we have to see if things are going to go. So Toledo's came out, been able to put a long drive together, got a score. Nevada came out, responded. Now let's see if we're seeing the Toledo that we've been accustomed to, that's put up the 500+ yards a game a season ago. Because they might need to do that. If Nevada's going to start, and we've seen this team fight them way back in the second half of games, they might be able to do that if Toledo doesn't keep up the pressure.
It's not recommended to get into a shootout with Logan Woodside. This is a guy that threw for 505 yards in a 55-53 win over BYU last year. Let's see if they stick with the run or open up the passing game a little bit more. Play action, has time. Caught by Thompson, first down, and he's up to the 39-yard line. 7 catches now for Thompson, 15-yard pickup. Sawyer on the tackle.
Yeah, Nevada's, the pressure they were kind of able to get in that first half on Woodside, they're not being able right now. He's getting that ball all quick. His receivers are running great routes. The corners for Nevada are going to have to do it better. They're going to have to get tighter. They can't leave such big windows for a quarterback like this and the receiving core they had. You have to be a lot more aggressive and close, a lot like what Toledo's DBs have been doing in Nevada.
Seymour stays in as the running back. First down now from the 39. They'll hand it off to Shakif, and he is shut down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing.
Great play right there coming in from the backside. That was
DJ Powell with a good play. Their third DB, third on the depth chart. He's a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, and he's down, but that was a good flash coming in from the backside, wrapping up. That's the kind of plays you need to kind of get this offense stagnant, because you want to push them longer. You want second and long. You want third and long, because that helps you as a defense.
They help him off the field there. And they have made some good plays at the line of scrimmage against this rushing attack. But that being said, 168 yards rushing for Toledo in this one. Four receiver look this time for Woodside.
Showing pressure.
They've got Sewell up, showing blitz along with Paulus. Now they back him off. They have a blitz coming from the linebacker. Safety play caught by John Vay Johnson, and a first down across the midfield stripe. Sewell and Baber on the tackle. 12-yard pickup. Good check off there.
See, here's the problem again. That was Akeem Muhammad, number 3, the right corner that came in. And again, he did not keep outside. Another player didn't keep outside contained. And in not keeping outside contained, you allowed that big play to happen. These are the things that Jeff Castile, the defense coordinator, was talking about his frustration from the Northwestern games. Guys are in position, but then they're not making play. And that one, he took himself out of position. You got to turn it back into where all your help is.
Gabe Sewell shaken up after that play. First down catch by Johnson, marks the football at the 49-yard line. And he is up on his feet now.
They got a lot of guys that have been dropping out on that they need. The tough part is because this defense has been playing tough and tough. You think about it. You played against Northwestern last week, big physical Big Ten school. Going against Toledo, a big physical running team. It starts to wear on some of the guys sometimes.
Yeah, they have some big kids up front, 316, 315 on the left side of that offensive line. And Kansa and Atarawa. First down now for Woodside. 4-receiver look. Looking for the play call from the sideline, and some confusion over there. They have to burn a timeout.
Smart call. If you're Coach Candle over there, you know what's going on. You know what's at stake.
Timeout, Toledo. That's their first timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
You know this offense on the other side is starting to heat up a little bit. You don't want to give them any type of steam to get back in. So call a timeout now. Make sure you guys got in the right spot. Good call.
There's talk if Toledo can have an excellent non-conference season, could they be a team that could crash the New Year's Day party? I mean, you look ahead, and we'll look at this later on the schedule. They have a date at Miami. If they're able to somehow knock off the Hurricanes and roll through the MAC, who knows? This could be a team we're talking about at the end of the year.
Especially if they learn that they have to win ugly sometimes. They have to win not doing their bread and butter. If they can win without ripping the ball around for 300-plus yards and still get out with a victory, that's going to help you down that road.
They've shown they can beat you in a lot of different ways. It was the ground game in the first half, more of the passing attack here in the second half. Woodside has now thrown for 173 yards and a couple touchdowns. Nevada backs off on the blitz. Now they come with pressure on the edge. Throw to the sideline. Catch made by Johnson. There's a flag thrown. I think he was out of bounds first and then came back into the field of play. Let's see what they rule here.
Could have been. He kind of had the DB turned around because the way he's run. You can see, yep, catches it right on the line. Which usually I think they would drop their hat sometimes. Not usually throw a flag, I would think.
I think he knew it. Here's Ron Hudson, who's been busy today.
Legal touching, number 7 of the offense. He came back inbounds and was first to touch. It's a loss of down at the previous spot. Second down.
So that's 19 combined penalties now in this one.
Very sloppy. Both coaches will be talking about that because penalties cost you games. And we've seen for Nevada, it's been very costly at the point in time that they've gotten these penalties. So it's all about concentration. That one right there, you got to know where you're at. Give your quarterback room space on that sideline. So these are all mental mistakes. And mental mistakes are things that coaches get frustrated because physical they can handle. You're going to get beat sometimes. Other guys are out there playing too. But they don't want you to lose mentally.
2nd and 10 from the 49. Pistol look for the Rockets. Handed off to Seymour. Sidesteps a man and down to the 46. Give him 3. For a guy that goes 220 and packs a punch, he has some nifty feet. Pretty good move there.
He surely does. And it's one of those things that he saw it. He danced outside. Nevada did a good job of coming up there and wrapping up. And that was number 23 there.
That was Powell again.
Powell, yep.
Good to see Sewell back out there after he was a little bit shaken up. Number 7, leading the defense. Preseason All-Mountain West Conference. 3rd and 7. Woodside over the middle. Thompson the catch. He hangs on after taking a big shot at the 35-yard line.
And
that was Sewell.
And that's
Nephi Sewell.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Woodside. I mean, he has the vision. He knows where he needs to put the ball and put it in a position behind. Look, as he catches it, he knows he's going to get hit. So he puts the ball a little bit behind his receiver. It gives the receiver a chance to secure it before getting hit.
Nephi, the younger brother of Gabe Sewell, with a big hit, but Thompson hangs on. First down at the 36. They send McKinley Lewis looping in motion. Handoff Seymour, cut down behind the line of scrimmage. That was Powell in there again. He's making some great plays from the secondary.
Yes, Powell is being very active,
the third quarter.
Stepping in there, making the plays that need to be made on this defense. They need a little spark, and it looks like he's trying to bring it.
Fourth quarter coming up. A 34-24 lead. Nevada's offense has woken up. Thompson has as well for Toledo. We head to the fourth in Reno.
The big game, huh? Boy, I wish your mom was here. Instead of over there.
I ain't afraid to say it, go blue. I'll kick it.
She needs this, kids. Mom needs this.
Have some. Just get it done.
Reliving the glory days isn't always rewarding, but Hotels.com is. Unlock instant savings now and earn free nights to use later. Hotels.com.
Not a yes, sir, not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer. Take a number. I was lightning before the thunder. Lightning, then the thunder. Thunder, thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning, then the thunder. Thunder.
Biggest little city in the world. It's been a good one between Toledo and Nevada. The Rockets in front of the Wolfpack 34-24 as we start the fourth quarter. 2nd and 11 for Toledo at the Nevada 37-yard line. Logan Woodside starting to heat up, 15 of 22 through the air. Looking to put it up here. Steps up, going to take off with the football. He fumbles it and then recovers his own fumble near the line of scrimmage. There's a flag down as well.
The pressure starting to dial up by Nevada. They're starting to bring some heat from different areas, giving him looks he hadn't seen. Woodside can run with the ball. Not known for it, but he can use his legs.
Holding, number 56, offense. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
He'll take the penalty. It's on Chandler Connerman, the right guard.
You can see right there, going against Malik Reed, and pulls it up. And you can see he was so wide open, and when he saw that lane running, he didn't pay attention. Quarterbacks that don't run often don't normally tuck the ball away like they should.
So 2nd and 21 now, back at the 47. They look to that sideline for the play call. Michael Julian, senior quarterback over there with some signals.
Look for a screen at the bottom.
Pump fake. Woodside going deep, has a man open. It's caught. It is. It's hauled in by Deontay Johnson, and he got a foot down. Moody on the coverage.
I'm not sure who that was that just got beat on that. I'm trying to see the number. That was a slant and go, and that was Moody. You got to know better than that. You're a veteran corner. You can't get beat on a 2nd and 20-some-odd play by a slant and go. You keep it in front of you, and that's exactly what they did. They took advantage of him. He bit on it, and they went over top.
First down at the 13-yard line. Big catch by Deontay Johnson. Seymour picking his way forward to the 12 for a couple, and that's it. Malik Reed on the tackle. A 21-yard pass play to Johnson, getting him into the red zone. And if they can get a touchdown here, they put themselves in a really good spot.
And you kind of see the difference between two teams. Toledo, a more experienced group that have been playing with together, you know, coach, system, they understand what's going on. When they get themselves back into a hole, they're able to capitalize and climb back out of it. You look at what Nevada's been dealing with, mental mistakes. That was another mental mistake on a play that shouldn't have happened. When you got 2nd and long as a secondary, you got to make the offense pay.
Thompson split bottom of the screen. Over the middle, it's tipped and incomplete, intended for Deontay Johnson, and that was Nephi Sewell that got a hand up.
The young freshman getting in there, making some plays, and you got to make them when they're there. Great jump up there. You can see the actual look on Woodside. The way he steps in and rips that ball, you can see the 4,000+ yards he got last year and how effective it was, because you see he fakes it, good stance, zips that ball in there. But a good job by Nephi Sewell jumping up, deflecting that. He would have loved to just snatch that down and run down the sideline.
Johnson thought he had a touchdown catch. A number of first-year Wolfpack players, freshmen, have made some plays in this game. Here's another one by Sewell. They're 6 of 11 on third downs, 3rd and 9. Seymour, that's not going to get it done. He is shut down. Kyle Adams, a sophomore, weak side linebacker, sets up a 4th down. Loss on the play.
And good, that, you know, all hands on deck right now. Get everybody out there making plays. If you're Toledo, okay, you're able to survive some mental mistakes. You got down. You're going to get some more points on the board. You're going to make it tough for them to try to come back. We know how explosive Toledo can be. Nevada just has to see if they can make positive plays and not shoot themselves in the foot on a consistent basis right now.
Jamison Vest from 31 yards. He's converted a couple already from the left hash. And the kick is no good. He missed it off to the left, and it remains a 10-point game with 12:54 to go. 34-24, Toledo's drive, and they come up empty. And Nevada with some momentum here in their home opener.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
It's been 60 years since I came up here to watch football. I've seen a hurricane that rocks and a tide that rolls. I've seen hustle, perseverance, and heart. I've seen a bowl of cotton that's anything but soft. Some call it hard work, determination, or grit. I call it blimp-worthy.
Toledo still up 10 after missing a field goal, and Ganji and Nevada have the football back at their 20-yard line. Disappointing drive for Logan Woodside and company. You can see the quarterback comparison. The number is almost even now after Woodside got off to a slow start. The advantage for Toledo, 2-to-1 time of possession over the course of the game, and in this second half, 15.5 minutes to 1.5 minutes for time of possession in favor of Toledo. Here's a pass play and a catch made, and a big gainer for Depps downfield. And Depps is inside the 30. Pickup of 50, and they needed a big play, and they got one. Khalil Robinson on the tackle.
And that's what you need out of this offense. You not only need a big play, I love the fact that running to the line, getting ready for the next play. You set up the run, got him going, get it to Dempster guy, and now you get ready to get to the line and take off with another play. That's what you want, fast pace.
And they were preaching tempo on this drive. Here they go quickly up to the line of scrimmage, to the 30-yard line. Chance to make this a one-possession game. Pump fake by Ganji. Hit from the backside, the ball's loose. And Toledo has it at the 30. Tuzar Skipper with the hit, dislodging the football. And it looked like the Rockets have it, and they get a huge turnover. Nate Childress on the fumble recovery.
Yeah, Austin Corbett, the left tackle. You can't, after a big play like that,
the ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Perfect
First
swim
down,
move
Toledo.
By Skippers there. That kind of looks like it. I'm not sure if his arm was going forward at that point in time.
That's what they're going to take a look at here. Big time play by Skipper.
Right, you can see right there, reaches the left tackle. You're not supposed to reach. He reaches, free move. His arm is back. The question is, I don't know if he was going forward before the hit happened.
Looked like he hit the football before the arm was going forward. But all the momentum on Nevada's side prior to this.
And that's just tough. This is where Nevada's been hurting themselves. They make something great happen, and then they follow up with the penalty or fumble or turn. You know, you can't go back and forth like that.
And that was a quick review. Ruled a fumble. Rockets now have it at the 30-yard line. They go to the ground game. Straight ahead with Swanson, who's nearing 100 yards, picks up 4. He now has 98 on the ground. Sawyer on the tackle.
Yeah, and you see right now what Toledo is definitely going to go out and do. They're going to want to pass a little bit, but you're going to see them eat up some clock. They know that Nevada's feeling the mojo. There's only so many times that they're going to end up shooting their own selves in the foot, and they're going to make Toledo pay. So you can see they're going to slow it down a little bit and not throw as much and make the tempo a lot slower to eat up clock.
Now they get Swanson back into the backfield here, a 4-receiver look. He's been the workhorse, gets the call straight ahead, and that might get him to 100 yards. Patrick Schauda on the tackle. Terry Swanson, last year 583 rushing. 2 years ago he was second-team All-MAC. Had 923 yards rushing, so he's been around the block, and he's a real leader at that as a senior running back.
Yeah, and they need somebody like that, especially in these type of situations when it's a very sloppy game on both sides of the ball. When Toledo has a lot of penalties too. And so you need somebody that can step up through all the mess and be consistent, and that's exactly what he's been able to do.
He has eclipsed the century mark, 101 yards rushing now for Swanson. Woodside setting up the screen, caught by Deontay Johnson and hammered. That was Nephi Sewell again. Number 6 is really making a name for himself out there.
Yeah, another true freshman. And when you have a new program and all these new guys, I think you mentioned there's 7 new starters last week that had never started before. When you got a bunch of young guys, sometimes this is what you need. You need a situation where, you know what, we don't even care anymore. Let's get out here and make some plays. And the young guys are bringing that fire and making those plays, especially, like I said, when Asani Rufus went out, we saw the team deflate a little bit.
Yep.
And so now to see these guys come out, I think it's helping them out.
They come after the punter, and Bailey Flint gets the kick away. It'll be Crumby at the 25. Makes one man miss and goes down right at the 25-yard line. A lot of football left here. 10 minutes, 16 seconds to go, and it's a 10-point lead. Nevada with the momentum, trailing Toledo 34-24.
The Capital One Venture Card. Unlimited double miles on every purchase, not just airline purchases. Now available in metal. What's in your wallet?
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have any branded cups for the late night talk show guests. Because the only thing that will make you believe is trying it yourself.
10:16 to go. First year at the helm for Jay Norvell. 31-year coaching career as an assistant at the NFL and the college level, and he has a fun brand of football here with this air raid attack. And he's got a lot of young freshmen that are going to be a big part of this program down the line.
They are, and they're all getting in, and that leads to some of these mental mistakes and penalties that we've seen by some of them because you're young, you're trying to understand the game, but he's making sure they're learning by trial by fire.
They haven't had the football much here in the second half. We'll see if Ganji can take advantage on this possession on a play fake, and he just throws that one away.
And that's growth right there. That's the smartness of seeing nobody is there. I'm going to get out the pocket. I still don't see anything. I'll get rid of the ball, live to throw another day. There's 10 minutes left in this game. There's still plenty of time to climb back in. So let's not compound it. Let's stop making the mistakes, and let's see if we can be consistent.
Yeah, they get a score here. It's a one-possession game. They were down 34-17. They were down 27-10 at one juncture. They have battled back, showed a lot of character here in their home opener. Kincaid off the right side, across the 30, keeps his legs moving forward, and the ball might have come free. Nope, it's down at the 32. Thought for a moment there was a scramble there. 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him run to the line right now quickly, get up there, get set, force that defense to have to respond, go back to your hard count a little bit, see if you can get them to jump on the first down, because they could be a bit tired right now.
3rd and 2. Straight ahead, Kincaid. He has enough for the first down. He's across the 35. 3-yard pickup. Now, remember, they used a timeout early in this second half, so they only have 2 remaining. That could be a factor down the stretch.
It definitely can be. You got to watch your timeouts. You don't like to waste them early. You like to save them late. But I think in this type of situation, it's just about tempo. I wouldn't be looking at the clock in regards of how much time I need to save my timeouts. I'm looking to move down the field and put points.
Moore back in at running back. And they throw the screen to Moore, breaks a tackle across the 40. Good second effort. Malik Jones, a 4th-year transfer from Maryland on the stop. 4-yard pickup.
And that's what they needed. The big back, you got to wrap him up. And if you get some help, too, because he is a wide, short body. 5'10", 220. You can see he's wrapping up, but it's going to take more than that to stop them big legs.
Second down. They need to get it to the 46. Ganji hit from the backside. It's intercepted. He was hit from the backside, and it's picked off by Jawan Woodley, the senior. And they turn him over again, this time on the Nevada side of the field.
His backside, the pressure's coming again, forcing Ganji to have to step up. Look at the left side there. Again, it's 73. Austin Corbett not staying on his block and allowing that.
Ola Adeni, the junior, with the hit, forcing the interception, and it went into Woodley's arms, and Toledo's defense has stepped up on a couple back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, and you got to think about Corbett has been the leader. He's a senior on this offensive line. To give up 2 sack fumbles like that, fumble interception, that's tough.
Just under 9 minutes to go now to the ground game. It's Seymour trying to get the corner turned. He can't. It's a big loss. Back to the 39-yard line. That was Jaden Sawyer on the play from his spur position. Well, Nevada has had their chances. The turnover's costly here.
And this is the frustrating thing for coaches is, you know, you dial up certain things that should work a certain way, and then mental mistakes happen. And when they happen and they're costly, it's like, okay, how do we recover from this? We got to figure out a way to recover from this, and it stops the momentum.
Setting up the screen. It's McKinley Lewis, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Sewell and Baber combining on the stop. Now, with all this being said, they get a stop here. They still have a chance to get back into this game.
And there's still time, because he told us after that Northwestern game, and I asked him, I said, you looked in their eyes. What did you see? And then he said, I saw guys that felt they should have won. They knew they got to play better. They got to play smarter. And that's what we're seeing out here. I mean, with all of these issues that have happened, they're still within grasp of the game. So that tells you got a bunch of young, hungry guys that are willing and ready to play. They just have to execute that.
They committed 8 penalties. They turned it over a couple times, trying to stop Toledo here on a 3rd and 13. Woodside fires across the middle. Catch made by John Vay Johnson. He's got a first down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Big conversion for Woodside and the Rockets.
And this is why Toledo is dynamic with their offense, put up some points. They have so many guys, you have to pick your poison, what you want to try to take away. He's coming across the middle. Sewell doesn't drop back just enough, deep enough to make sure that he can help with that tackle, but he finds a hole. Great run by John Vay Johnson. And then I like the end. You saw that? He got down. He go out of bounds. He sat down so the clock could keep going.
17-yard pickup. At the 23 now, we're under 7 minutes to go. They go to the ground with Seymour straight ahead. Tough guy to bring down as he sledgehammers his way to the 16 for 6 yards. Paulus and Nephi Sewell on the stop. Well, it looks like there's a Nevada player injured here. Patrick Schauda shaken up.
That doesn't look good, the way he's pounding and not moving, in that way that right leg is laying there.
39 career games for Schauda, senior from Oakley, California. It's been an entertaining game. The first half completely different from the second half.
Yeah, and you think about the first half, we had the entire game for most part has had sloppy mental mistakes on certain situations with either penalties or assignments. But at least with that first half, but when you look at what happened in that first half, how they fought really tough, close, and then at the end. But look, watch Schauda right here. As he jumps up in there, You can see his arm kind of just gets stuck back there as he's going one direction and his arm went the other direction. That's not a nice feeling. I can imagine that.
2nd and 4 now as he checks off the field. Approaching the 6-minute mark. Toledo can afford to be a little bit more patient here as they send Fisher, the tight end, in motion. Handoff, Seymour. Seymour inside the 10, and they'll have a 1st and goal. Kyle Adams on the tackle. It's almost not fair. You go Swanson, then you go Tompkins, then you go Seymour, the 3rd back. He picks up 9.
Yeah, and the redshirt freshman, I mean, you think about what he did last week, 11 carries for 102 yards, had a 44 for a long. So that means when he gets an open field, he can take it the distance with 1 touchdown, but a 9.3 average, and we're seeing exactly why.
Look at the rushing, Jay. 188. They get 101 from Swanson, 54 from Tompkins. Seymour chips in with 23. This time they send Phillips in motion, and they go direct snap to the running back, and nothing doing. Tried to fool him up there as Sakona with the stop on Seymour. And now timeout call.
Timeout, Nevada. That's their 2nd timeout of the half. This will be a full timeout.
Well, if Coach Norvell's team can hold them to 3 here, it's a 2-score game, but Toledo, chance to close the door. 5:24 to go. 34-24, Rockets in front.
When you look at the Mercedes-Benz GLC, with its high-tech cameras and radar, contemporary cockpit, 360-degree network of driver assist technologies, and sporty performance, what's most impressive about the GLC? All depends on your point of view. The 2018 GLC, starting at $40,050. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Not every rivalry is a fair fight. Like Wendy's beef with the other guys. While they thaw out, Wendy's goes all out, serving fresh beef for nearly 50 years, which is why true hamburger fans side with the official hamburger of the NCAA.
One of the top quarterbacks in college football, Logan Woodside, trying to get his team into the end zone here and possibly clinch a road victory, leading Nevada by 10, looking at a 2nd and goal just outside the 6-yard line. Straight ahead handoff, and that gets him inside the 5 and down to the 2. Seymour on the carry, 4-yard pickup. Adams on the stop, and Nevada's going to call their final timeout.
Nevada. That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, that'll be a 3rd and goal. They did not get it in, so 3rd and goal just outside the 2.
Yeah, I understand what he's trying to do, and it's the right move to do. You call the timeouts. You hope your defense can salvage one more stop, force a field goal. Now, 2 scores that you can touchdown and you win the game type of thing. I mean, it's a tall ask that this defense, I felt, has came out and done a lot for this game. And if you think about it, if we go back to the first quarter, if the offense is just able to match score for score, we'd be in a different discussion right now.
So no timeouts left, 5:18 on the clock, 3rd and goal from the 2. They have Thompson split, bottom of the screen. Woodside, gonna keep it. Nevada read it well, and they throw him for a loss back at the 7. Guess who? Nephi Sewell again.
And that's what you want. The young freshman coming in, making the play. They knew that the run up the middle was probably what Nevada was expecting, so let's just send our quarterback out. He's athletic enough. But now, what I'm curious what they're going to see is how much time will you take off the clock before you kick this field goal?
Well, they'll run it all the way down with no timeouts. Nevada can't stop it. And Vest, who missed on his last attempt, is 2 out of 3. This will be a chip shot from the left hash. 23-yarder. And the kick is good. So a 13-point lead now for Toledo, up 37-24.
Well, one thing we know that we've seen already is The kicker has no problem putting it in the end zone. So they're going to make sure that there's an opportunity for a quick kickoff return that might end up into a score. And now, if that's the case, now this is where game plan is going to be huge, because Nevada needs to drive down and score. How are you going to do it? The no huddle, 2-minute drill. Defensively, Toledo, what do we decide to take away? Because we've seen this offense get the momentum, and then we had to make some type of big play to stop them.
Well, one guy, or a couple guys you got to be aware of. Wyatt Demps is one of them, the senior, and then the freshman, McLean Mannix. Mannix has 5 catches for 128 yards in that big 75-yard touchdown.
True, but what we saw, too, out of Henley, what he was able to do, that's another person there. And then one thing we really haven't seen is Jackson Kincaid out in space, like going no back, flexing him out and seeing how the defense will respond.
Vest with the kickoff, and this will be returnable. It's Crumby across the 20, and he's short of the 25-yard line as he's out at the 24. And do we have a flag?
There might have been a little action on the sideline.
No flag thrown, but they could have thrown one there. Now we do see some extracurricular activity over there.
See, and this is the stuff right here that Coach talks about has to be fixed. Guys have to, you want to be chippy, but don't cost your team. We don't know exactly what the penalty is, but you don't keep chirping.
After the play, so unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1 of the return team, he threw the football at the opponent. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And that was Crumby, the returner.
And see, and this is where you can see right there, and this is the problem. You can't compound something good and then bad after. I mean, this has been Nevada's issue the entire game. The penalties happen at the wrong time. You know, Toledo's gotten penalties too, has been sloppy, but it hasn't cost them when they've gotten their penalties. The penalties for Nevada have cost them every time that they've done it. And this is the growth process these guys are going to have to learn.
No timeouts, 4:25 to work with. They need 2 touchdowns. They start this drive from the 12-yard line. Ganji has had some big games through the year in his career. Now some movement up front. And he has put up good numbers tonight, 266 yards, but an interception, and they fumbled it a couple times.
Offside, number 52. 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's Marquise Moore.
Is that his second or third?
Couple of them.
You know, so these are things that, it's early in the season. So outside like NFL where you have preseason games where you can go do things, coaches got to work this stuff out as these games progress. And these are errors that are going to have to fix themselves.
1st and 5 from the 17. They'll run it, and that's a first down carry for Jackson Kincaid up to the 27-yard line. Another flag is on the field. 10-yard pickup.
Personal foul, face mask, number 8, defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Josh Teachy, and they'll tack it on after the run.
You got to be smart when you come in to tackle, but see, these are mental. These are not physical mistakes. These are mental mistakes. These are not concentrating, coming in, doing proper technique stuff.
It's 23 penalties today combined between these two. First down out the 42. Approaching 4 minutes to go. Nevada needs 2 touchdowns, no timeouts to work with. Offsides, it looks like. Here's Kincaid straight ahead, and he has a first down to the Toledo side of the field. Adaney looks like he jumped. 12-yard pickup.
Marker on the play. Offside, number 9, defense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
We'll still count that as 24.
I won't go to the score sheet as that. They'll take the 12-yard run.
But that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, you got to be smarter. You know you have the lead. Don't jump. Wait. Look at the ball. Look, you're looking down the line. Look at the ball.
And Nevada moving down the field, and they're getting some help from the penalty flag. Here's Kincaid straight ahead, bounces off a tackler, and he's inside the 40-yard line. Again, no timeouts left. Did he get the first down on that carry? Looks like he did. And they move the chains. That'll stop the clock momentarily.
And here's the thing about college. You know, clock, will stop as the chains move. So you can take your shots down the middle of the field as long as you get down and set up quickly, because you got that clock stopped as you're getting ready.
Skipper on that last stop, but it's a 10-yard pickup. First down at the 37. Ganji. Catch made. It's Mannix, and that's another first down catch to the 26. 11-yard pickup. Blue on the tackle.
And this is what you want. They want to protect the sideline, that's fine. You keep taking advantage of the middle. You can see prevent defense to me has always mean let me move down the field. And that's what Toledo's playing right now, and they've been able to move down the field.
Kelton Moore on the carry, and Moore puts his head down and drives it inside the 20. Does not get the first down. 8-yard pickup. The clock continues to roll towards 3 minutes. Moore on that last tackle. They hurry up to the line. 3 receivers left. Ganji trying to bring him back, hands it off to Moore. Hit and drop for a loss. That's a costly one. It'll be a third down coming up.
Yeah, they went to the well too much on that. That's a situation where I would have threw the pass, because you've done it so many times. Toledo at some point is going to say, okay, we're going to stop the run and make them throw the ball.
Third down and a couple. They need to get it to the 16. They're 5 of 12 on third downs. Ganji has time, fires it, incomplete. Not on the same page with Armstrong, but we have a flag in the backfield. Behind the quarterback, let's sort this one out.
They're trying to do a corner route, just didn't have time for it. When you had man to come.
There is no foul for roughing the passer. He was blocked into the quarterback. Result of the play is fourth down.
So I was going to say, when they dialed that up, the receivers were man-to-man outside with corners, safety in the middle. That's the play they should have did, a simple fade route. Dimps on a fade route is the play you would want to look for.
Maybe right here.
Right now, right here.
It's 4th and 2.
Fourth and 2.
The game's on the line.
Yeah, you got to get at least 2, but definitely take a shot.
1 of 2 on fourth downs, trying to keep this game going with 2:33 to go. Ganji fires it near sideline and out of bounds, and they'll give it up on downs. He was looking for Mannix, and Toledo will take over.
Too much trying to put a touch on the ball in that situation. He had Maddox. He needed to zip that ball in there, or even better, maybe run with it. Set back, let it open up, run for those 2, keep the drive going. But this has been the story of the game, and it's tough for him, you know. So now with 2:29 left, no timeouts, you got to hope that your defense can somehow come out there and force a fumble or something.
Yeah, Toledo is really looking like they're in the catbird seat here with Logan Woodside, and we talked about how he didn't put up big numbers in the first half. You look at the stat sheet now, 19 of 27, 232 yards and a couple touchdowns. Maybe not his A game, but pretty good.
Right, and you think about it, he averages, last week he did 317 yards, and last year I think his average was like 320, 330 a game. So yeah, a little bit below what he would like to do, but what they asked him to do, he did effectively.
And his running backs have done a tremendous job. That was Seymour in that last carry. Swanson 101 yards, Tompkins 54, Seymour 37. The triumvirate, the trio taking over after Kareem Hunt left to the NFL. This offense looks like they'll be just as good as last year. I mean, in terms of the weapons they have.
Yeah, I think it's more about how they execute, because you think about what Nevada presented to them. They had short fields for numerous times, but they didn't score it. But I think this is an ongoing problem. Last week they were 4 of 8 in the red zone. So you're in the red zone 8 times, but you only got 4 touchdowns, 4 field goals. So you come in here, same type of situation. You're only been bad 50%. So I think that the offense, you can't live on last year's laurels. You're going to have to come out there each year, each game, and present yourself. And I think they have some work they're going to have to do. If they want to do what they want to do and run the table and be that contention or the MAC champ, they got some things that are going to work, but they have the pieces. And I think the 3-headed monster running back situation, that's a plus, because defensively, I got a game plan for 3 different type of runners.
They also know they have Cody Thompson, 8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown after a slow start. Again, that's 12 career 100-yard receiving games for Thompson.
Right, and then
what a career.
And you got John Vay Johnson, Deontay Johnson as well, and then Jordan Fisher tight end. So you have weapons. It's a matter of execution and doing the assignment the right way and making the most when you get in the red zone. Because we've seen they got stuffed a few times on that run. And so that's something they're going to have to work on.
And the other thing about Jason Candle's team, how about his defense? They forced 3 turnovers, bend but don't break. They gave up some yardage. They end up giving up 386, but their pressure on Ganji forced some turnovers that were key here in the second half.
And it's because of their secondary. When you look at their secondary and what those guys were able to do, they didn't give a whole lot of windows to the Nevada receivers. Those guys, you think about who they have to work against every day in practice, the names we just listed, makes them better players. And so in doing so, I think that helped that front. Even though they didn't give up the scores early, they gave some up late, but they made it to where the offense had that grace, that space to do what they needed to do to get on track.
So Jason Candle's team gets the victory. They move to 2-0, and Nevada loses their home opener. They're now 0-2. Thanks to Jay Taylor, I'm Trey Bender saying so long from Reno, Nevada. 37-24, the Rockets over the Wolfpack here at Mackey Stadium. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app, or to watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks. Log on to WatchESPN.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night from Reno.